Beautiful people, welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That right there is not a Dara. It is the Obe, the one, the Kenob. Welcome back, Obe. You haven't been on that side of the desk in a hot minute, so it's nice to have you back. Good, good. Yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Want to let you know that Obi prepared the lesson today, so get ready for one heck of a lesson. But before we do that, Obe, let's shout out all the OGs joining us today. We got Darwin, Larry Finkster, Michelle Meir, a proper paradox has joined us as well, Stephen H., Asta, the Fawns in the house, Scott H., small cap trader extraordinaire, shout out to him. Dino's in the house, so is Cass, so is Trader Forever, and Turin, 420, Bud Musker, the Skips, AJ Low, Deuce X, Jack CW. We got Vid Duong, Derek K, Comp, SRX1, Blue Arrow, and Alaric B, the gauntlet in the house today. What is the look so far? Anything you want to talk about before we really get down to it?
Nothing too much. I'm just kind of observing the action today. Of course, Jimmy, we're all waiting for Kitty's live stream that's going to be happening at 12 o'clock today. So yeah, we've had some interesting price action off of the open. If you guys are watching, nice little halts to the upside, goes to like 48 and then pulls right back in down to 30s. You can see that it's flushing down even further right now, going into the event. I guess we can call it an event. Yeah, so we've got about an hour left for that. Other than that, I got a few earnings names on watch. Again, GME,
of course,
was not on watch this morning. They're like a little bit of a surprise drop. They're just like, all right, well, we may need to do an offering. So here's the earnings report, and boom, here we with the cherry on top with a 75 million share offering in the morning. Everybody's making money.
It's funny, man, because I was telling you off camera, obviously, I was watching this in the aftermarket. I was watching it on Blue Ocean. I turned on the TV this morning. Boom, right on Squawk Box in the morning. Oh, GameStop reported just randomly. Like, they didn't have eyes on it. Nobody was ready for that, right? And then all of a sudden, the stock started doing, well, as you saw there. So let's get down to business, Ope. So let's just do a quick recap here of the small cap gappers. You know, obviously, the focus is on GameStop. The focus is on its sister company here, AMC, but there's other ones running as well. You saw the Katina man dive into the hood there. I was trading that in the sim this morning as well. Carvana started making a nice move there, popped off 103 right into 111s, all the way back down, holding the 50 period on the 5 on CVNA. It's kind of like in the middle between the highs and the lows, dancing at 108. There's a couple of, you know, your run-of-the-mill small cap gappers. Again, it's going to be, the focus is really going to be on these meme stocks, but I got CLEU on watch as well as VIGL. So CLEU showing numero uno on my gap scanner, done 6.75 million shares on the day. Let's have a look at the details. $9.3 million market cap and a 3 million share float. Well off the highs, rejection at 3. But look at this. Lo and behold, holding up at that 20, trying to make incremental higher highs and higher lows. Keep your eye out on that. VIGL looked really good off that, where did it print? 4 1/3 yesterday, got up to 6, but yeah, all the way down into 510, and it's just really tanking right now. So VIGL no longer tradable under my system, but here is GameStop. It has been that magnetic effect on the 10 period that the one that Kenob always talks about. Look at this, all the umpteen amount of rejections here on the green line. The green line is the 10 period on the 5 minute, and anybody who's been shorting into that line has been rewarded so far. There is a new low of day as we speak, 32.30. This one looks like it's poised to hit that $10 mark. 30 ain't far away right now, 2 1/4 from where we're at. And to be quite honest with you, there was an interesting amount of support 430 yesterday in the pre-market. You'll see that obviously on much lower volume, but from around 5 a.m. to that print that we got at 8 a.m., this one was defending that $30 mark. So there could be something to be had there for the longs. I'm not going to jump in front of anything, obviously, with a resting order, but keep your eye on this one. Newer lows inbound, Obe, and it has been kind of a reject the 10 period on the 5 kind of thing. I know you've talked about that. You had the expression, that magnetic retracement into the 10 period, and that's what kind of we see today a little bit here on GameStop.
Yeah, it's funny that this week we're talking about squeezes, and we've been getting pretty much a short squeeze
Right.
on GME back-to-back days. And interesting thing is today we're going to be talking a little bit about liquidity traps and GME. I told you this yesterday near the close. I was like, yeah, this is going to be beautiful for tomorrow because of what GME is doing. A classic liquidity trap, and we'll definitely be talking about that and some previous squeezes as well that we can definitely study up on, so that when these moves show up again, we are taking effective trades on them. We've put in the reps, we've put in the studying of historical squeezes, and we can better capitalize on these opportunities whenever they come around. You know, it's like yeah, every few years it would seem that there is significant squeeze action that happens, and yeah, you know, the volatility and the opportunity that's presented to really grow your account, right? So yeah, with that, do you want to head into the lesson?
Yeah, just going to update. I'm long a couple of names right now. Long Apple and Softy. Already wet my beak on some profits. These were resting orders to defend key technical levels. 195 on Apple, 424 on the soft one. They have been very well defended today, so let's see if they remain defended. The future got a bit of a V-shaped recovery or retracement, excuse me, off the highs, so I'm very cognizant of that. Don't want to overstay my welcome. Already taking some profits, but keeping an eye on these levels, 424 and 195.
Yes,
you want to? Yeah, you can start.
Yeah, no, I'm just. I got GME on watch on the side here, just kind of. You know, it's been fading off, so you know, I'm just waiting for the event to happen, waiting for anything significant to kind of come in. The volume's been pretty much, I guess, steady since the open there. Let me just pull up a 15-minute chart here, so you can see that, yeah, we are doing some significant R-vol off of the open. In the pre-market, we were doing about 4. Now this R-vol has a period of 5 on my chart right now. But yeah, you can see that they reported earnings, so a little bit of a miss on both revenue and EPS. Might have been a little expected, but 33% a miss on earnings, and then 11.4% miss on revenue as well. So a little bit of negative earnings. We did get a sell-off, and not just that, the 75 million share offering we were talking about as well might have been slightly responsible for a little bit of a dip in the pre-market, just to say. But yeah, we got a retracement off the open into 48s, like I said before. Interesting that it just goes up into this consolidation high, can't really go anymore, and then fades right back down into pre-market lows, which is what we are attempting to break through right now, or we did break through. We are kind of just in that area. But you can see over the past few days how it's been setting up. So this is kind of what I want to talk about in today's lesson here, a liquidity trap, right? So I think
GameStop's halting up.
We are halting up at 34.51 right now. Okay, so let's see if where this halt will take us. So we did come right back down into pre-market lows. Let's go down to a shorter time frame, and then we are halting right back up into 34.50 right now. GME is halted. So for the next 5 minutes, or more.
Sorry if I have to interrupt you. Just if it halts or anything like that, I apologize in advance or anything. Yeah.
No worries. Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about short squeezes, liquidity. So short squeezes is the topic for this week, but today. We're going to be talking about liquidity traps and bear traps. So what is that, you may ask? So we can talk about the setup, how the liquidity trap kind of sets up and it builds into that squeeze, right? Yeah. So, so what you're looking for initially is, we'll go through some examples. Of course, GME is going to be a prime example of this after near the end of the lesson there. So just to kind of walk through the certain components of a liquidity trap. So initially, you have a very strong volume day, something that's doing relative volume, that is bringing in participants, that's you know, a lot of longs, a lot of shorts. It gets crowded, right? The ticker gets crowded. All right, so what happens after that? After that day one, with that strong relative volume, you see the volume kind of drop off. You might see some consolidations as well. The liquidity, basically what's happening, the liquidity is drying up. So for example, if the first day has like 100 million volume, the second day can be down significantly. Maybe it's only doing like 10 million or 15 million or 20 million, right? So significantly less than the initial day. Now that period can last a few days. Sometimes it lasts a couple of weeks. Sometimes some of the best ones happen on day 2, right? So again, it's different every time, but that's kind of the idea what you're looking for. Price basically fails to follow through. So you have a strong volatile move with strong volume on the initial day. Price kind of falls back in, and then it holds, it consolidates. On low volume, it cannot sell off further, right? FTFT, that's my abbreviation for failure to follow through. So the consolidation, sellers cannot push it below a certain level, no matter how much it goes, it kind of gets bid back up and kind of consolidates on a low volume hold. And anchored VWAP can be a good indicator for when the squeeze may be starting. When you anchor that VWAP, we're going to be talking more about this in the next few slides, on the high volume day. All right. So what is days to cover? So this is kind of a factor that you want to consider when it comes to this kind of the setup here. So what is days to cover? So how do you calculate that? Days to cover is basically what the current short float is, how many shares are shorted, what the ticker's average daily volume is. So you divide the short interest by the daily volume, and then you get an estimate of how long it would take to cover, how many days it would take to cover that short float on that given ticker. So what can we do with that? So basically, short sellers can have difficulty in a low liquidity environment if it has a high current short interest. So if shorts put in some buying pressure into the ticker and it's not doing that much volume, there is obviously a strong chance that they're going to move the price, right? So when does it happen? All right. So when does it happen? So day 2, day 3, day 4, could be a couple weeks. We're going to be looking at a couple examples, but it happens after that post-high relative volume day. All right. So price increases on low volume. So you have low volume that's coming in, right, after that strong volume day, consolidation, and then you get a nice little trickle up of the price on low volume. Sometimes you may ask, this is not doing any volume. Why is it moving up like that?
Very interesting.
Right? That can always be a good indicator. And then at some point, it crosses that anchored VWAP from day 1, right? And what is what is VWAP again? We hear Sharif talking about the WAP all the time. So weighted average price, volume weighted average price. So when you anchor it to that first high volume day, you're getting an idea of where the average player is sitting, right? So from that average point of price, or wherever your VWAP happens, and price starts to get above that, you're like, okay, well, the average participant from that high volume day, shorts are underwater. Majority of shorts are underwater. Average number of shorts are underwater, maybe potentially above this price. That's your first kind of indicator. And again, GME is a prime example of that. We're going to go into that a little bit later. But what are other key factors that you might want to be looking at when you're looking for this setup for a short squeeze, right? So float is immensely important. You have small floats, micro floats. So float is basically like the number of free shares that are available to be traded. So a number of inventory there is to go around, right? So the less inventory you have, and it gets some volume, there's potential for volatility to happen, right? So short interest, how much shorts are already sitting on the ticker? So short interest, percent short, whatever you want to call it, that is also a key factor that you might want to consider. Again, days to cover, we just talked about that. You might want to consider that as well. If there are a significant amount of shorts, if there's a short float, how long would it take them to cover all of that float? And volume, of course, volume is a great indicator, one of the best indicators, I think. Oh, yeah. But volume, again, we talk about the increased relative volume and then the volume dying off, and maybe a slight increase of volume afterwards as well. All right, so how do you want to manage this potential trade? Again, ease into it as it works, and when it starts to work, you'll see the tape, you'll see the action. GME is open again, still trading around 35, 50, 60, so it's still kind of right there. Still under VWAP, still seems like it is in that downtrend as well. Let me just pull in the chart here so we can take a look at it while we are doing this lesson here. Here, hold on. Okay, right here. So quick peek at what GME is up to right here. So let me throw that VWAP on there as well. It's a nice little downtrend, holding that downtrend, attempted to push through VWAP, but we are overall, since the pre-market, still well within this downtrend as of right now. All right, so what are we doing here? Easing into it, ideally, if you're trying to catch the front side of the move, sorry, the short squeeze, the front side of the move, you're going to ease into it, add as it works, as it kind of starts accelerating to the upside. But something else you want to consider is you want to look left and you want to look for levels of support and resistance, right? Where has this ticker consolidated in the past? Where are participants sitting maybe potentially on that high volume day one? Right? So support and resistance, again, another great thing to look at. And obviously, you want to manage your risk as well. Stay within your risk limit. That is obviously a strong part of managing the trade. And then also, again, it's a balancing act. So you have to factor in all of these different
I like
things.
the dude juggling.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
Of course,
right? So
of
it's
course.
like. So you remember to be responsible as well, right? So because short squeezes do come with significant volatility. All right, so how do we find these traps, right? How do you get better at finding some of these in the future? So again, use technology. You can run custom scans, right? There's a lot of great scanning softwares out there. What you want to look for, again, we talked about relative volume. What did significant volume as of recent, right? And maybe short float, right? You can have a short float scan as well. I have scanned when GME initially started running. I pulled up a full list of tickers that were shorted above 25% of their float to see what moves they may have. So again, using technology, definitely a great part of finding this kind of trade, right? Look into prior squeezes. Right? There's some great squeezes that have happened in the past decade, over the past 20 years, that you can look back at and kind of study to see how they behaved, to see how the market may rhyme when these setups kind of show up again. So what were some of them? Of course, GME, 2020, 2021, again, and even now, what's happening right now in 24. SPI, I remember this one quite well. I blew up an account on SPI getting squeezed out of this one. So if you guys remember SPI, another short squeeze that happened, pretty significant. Tesla in 2020, a little bit of a long-term squeeze, right? So squeeze for multiple weeks. Again, with significant players, large players that were sitting short in Tesla, not only in shares, in options as well. So Volkswagen, I'm sure you guys have heard Volkswagen versus Porsche. There was a huge short squeeze in the past on that as well. So again, looking back at prior squeezes definitely help. And dry ships, that was a huge one that happened. I think it was 2009 or something. Again, that's another famous one as well. I think the ticker started around like $10, went all the way up to 100, and then retraced the whole move in the next few days as well. So yeah, putting in the reps. That's how you get better at kind of finding these trades and taking them on the front side or even on the back side. You know, you can get creative with it as well. So putting in the reps, exercising your trade ideas, right? Studying historical patterns, that's always going to help. And then practicing the trades in simulation as you get comfortable or trying to get comfortable with taking that trade, right? And finding your edge in that practice, in that simulation, in studying the charts and charting your ideas and then actually exercising them as well. So putting in the reps, obviously a strong factor in taking this trade. And now we're going to go into examples again, of course, we're going to start off with GME again. So the kitty, this is a squeezing kitty. So maybe not roaring kitty, but this is, we're squeezing a kitty here. So, all right. Let's go to GME and kind of look at the prime example that we've been kind of living through over the past couple of days here. All right, so I will pull up a daily chart. So we talk about, let me get rid of this view up here. We talk about an initial day of high volume, right? So look at this right here. How many shares were traded on this candle? Now this is day 2 of the move. Right? Now, again, one could argue that this is an even bigger liquidity trap on another, like this is kind of a liquidity trap inception almost from what happened in 21, right? There was a bit of a failure to follow through below 10. But let's go to what's happened over the past few weeks in the month of May and June. So you have this strong volume that comes in. Again, I think it was around here that Roaring Kitty had that Twitter post of the gamer that has tilts over 45 degrees and maybe gets plus 10 focus on his stats on that, and then the game definitely has not stopped since. So people thought it was over right here, but okay. So on this high volume day, you have a 206, almost 207 million shares traded. Look at the significant volume drop that happens, right? So price kind of fades off quite aggressively. We went all the way to 64s in the open market, right? In the after hours even, if you take a look at the after hour chart, let me go down to a 15-minute, we went even higher than that. So
I have to do it now.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So we went even higher than that to 80, right? So we kind of pulled back off of that, consolidated. Look at that low volume consolidation. But before that, go to Sharif for a second.
Yeah, guys, we are brought to you by American Airs, trading in the USA under symbol AAIRF and in Canada under symbol Wi-Fi, WIFI. This company just announced a knockout punch, a global marketing partnership with the UFC. Airs Tech is dedicated to bridging the gap between technology and wellness. Airs Tech's mission is to provide cutting-edge solutions that protect against electromagnetic radiation without disrupting the everyday use of technology. This innovative company has seen consistent revenue growth and boasts several high-profile customers like Russell Brand and top UFC athletes. So invest in American Airs today on the OTC exchange under ticker AAIRF and on the Canadian Stock Exchange under ticker WIFI. Wi-Fi, easy enough to remember there. Oh, I want to mention my softy trade here. I'm very proud of this trade. This was an umpteen amount of 424 bounces and pops, and so I did take this initially over here. I took a little bit out, got stopped out. I saw that it held, got right back in, and we just took 50 pennies up super, super quick, right that on MSFT. I want to see if this one can actually continue to play this audio range. It looks like an audio file, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit loud, a little bit soft. So we'll see what this one brings. Sorry to interrupt your lesson.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. All right, so where were we? So initial high volume day, right? So you had 206 on this initial day. It's funny that this right here, I think, is a liquidity trap, and then this high volume day as well. You can also say that this is a trap within the trap as well, but we'll go off of this one first. So you had that initial day, and we talk about the anchored VWAP, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to anchor to that high volume bar. I'm just going to do it off the hourly chart here from the first day that it really had that exhaustive candle, very strong volume day as well. So you can see that is now anchored to that volume bar right there. So price kind of falls below, and look at this, low volume. We'll go back to the daily here real quick, right? Low volume, relatively low volume. When you compare it to the initial days, and price can't really fall back below this 20, right? It tries for one day, gets bid right back up and holds, right? So as price kind of slowly trickles up on that relatively lower volume, you can see that maybe shorts that are swinging these shares are starting to get a little sweaty as well, right? So talking about prime examples, you can also consider this day right here as one of the high volume days as well, because it's kind of it's overlapping this fade in volume as well. So you have this high volume day. Literally the next day, you're doing 50 mil. So you're doing 165 on this one. Next day, you do 50 mil. You can't even get back to this prior consolidation. You kind of get a nice little trickle up of price in the next coming days, and then now we are living it out over the past couple of days here. So now let's go back down to a shorter time frame here and see where that VWAP kind of comes in. So this is why it works so well. Look at that. It comes in the pre-market, strong volume day. It fades off. It reclaims that anchored on lower volume, and then you get that steady bid up. So yesterday, I think yesterday was a great trade, kind of breaking these consolidation highs, even breaking this high. And if you throw back this anchor from this day here, you can see that there's a little bit of confluence as well on
that's how it is up here. Yeah,
yes, sir. So confluence of the VWAPs right there. So this is that day one. It kind of trickles below. It pops up above it, fades back below, then you can maybe throw on another anchor on this high volume day. And as price slowly gets back above that, it starts to accelerate. You see that price coming in, and if you're watching the tape, again, we talk about having those reps in, you'll see that the bids are holding. You'll see that the ask is getting slapped. Right? You'll see a lot of mid prints happening as well in the middle of a squeeze, right? So it's like if you were observing the tape and level 2 yesterday in the book, you could see that action come in and around past this day high break in the 30s, 35s, 33s to 35s. I think was a little significant right there. But again, you're holding prior day highs on lower volume, and then volume expansion happens, and then look at that, we squeeze all the way up to 67 on that move there as well. So again, one could argue where the potential buying pressure is coming from. People are holding shares, which reduces the free float, and then maybe that has shorts that are, maybe they're naked short, maybe they're heavily shorted for a swing. They're like, oh yeah, GME is a whatever company, it's going to go to zero. Well, doesn't look like it's going anywhere near there as of right now, but you get that nice little squeeze and that momentum coming in. And now we kind of, when that buying pressure kind of fades off, and maybe the company feels like this is an opportunity to make some money, they do an offering, you get a nice little flush back, but you can see that we're holding, look at that strong wick that we had, right? We're holding right above that multi-day anchor, right? So this is where the average player is priced from that initial high volume day in and around this 33 to 32 level, right? And then when you dip back in, the first initial test of that dip back in gets bought right back up, showing us that there may potentially be some buying pressure sitting here still from that day one. So that's a little lesson on liquidity traps there. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. Hope you guys learned a little bit. But we'll be covering that a couple more times before our time here is done today. So let's go back to GME here, trading at 36s. All right, so I haven't had any trades as of yet today. I'm going to be waiting for Roaring Kitty's live stream to see what he has to say, to see if price action kind of changes. At the end of the day, we are day traders. I will react to whatever significant action may or may not happen off of that event. What's going on?
Quick question for you.
Yes,
some good feedback there in the chat, specifically with respect to where you chose to anchor the VWAP.
Yes.
So you had a specific day. It was a high volume day that I heard you say, and that's what kind of attracted you to it. So is there any nuance in that, Ob? Like, you put it on the 24th of May. I put it on a different day that I saw. Like, does that affect anything here? You know what I mean?
I think it can definitely affect it depending on where you're anchoring it to. I just think that the highest volume candle is kind of, it shows you that this is a place where there was a lot of shares traded,
Fair.
A lot of transaction happened. So I want to anchor it off of that. I want to know what the average weighted price is after that point of trading.
Okay. Yeah. Respect.
That's just how I like to do it. Now, I'm sure there are other ways to do it. I'm sure there's no right or wrong way. There's 100 different ways to trade.
Sure.
Maybe only some of them make money, but it is what it is. That's how trading is. But that is just how I like to do it.
All right, I just want to cover some of my trades. So it looks like I took out Softy far too early, but before I complain about Microsoft, I want to talk about this Apple trade. So 195 to me was an obvious level of resistance. It's been a level of resistance the past few days, on and off on an intraday basis, and today it kept accumulating into 195 in early trading. It was wicking above it, but as you can see here, this is a 1 minute chart, it was wicking and then it rejected. So once it claimed 195 on a closing basis and essentially made its way up to 196, I said to myself, that is a fair distance to clear a key level. If it comes back into 195, I want all the smoke, and I will go long. And that's exactly what I did. I sat at 195 with a larger order than I typically trade with on the show, and we were able to wet our beak for a nice 50-penny winner there, so it did defend 195 quite well. I mean, we got breaks of 195 by 8 pennies, but if you're not going to risk 8 pennies on a $200 name, I mean, maybe this isn't the setup. The other one, MSFT, multiple 424s, dip and pops. Again, it's a 400 some odd dollar name. You can't expect it to hold up at the whole dollar level on a penny basis. It's going to break it, and it did that in spades here. It got all the way down into mid 60s. I stopped out. I punched right back in once I saw this hammer candle form, because that just means the buyers, you know what, they're giving some sort of hand gesture to the sellers there. And then we made another candle to make a new high. The only kind of thing that I lament on this Microsoft trade, as I said to myself, Sharif, break even on Softy is 424.5. Get out there. It could be a key level of resistance. Well, it wasn't earlier. And so why was I looking at that level? Okay, great. It's a closing print from yesterday. I always chart it. I should respect it initially unless it shows me that it doesn't have a propensity to follow it. And here, it gave me that exact indicator. It said, I'm not respecting yesterday's closing print. It is not factoring into my price action today, yet for some reason I decided to use it. I would have, on consideration, I would have looked to VWAP, to the volume weighted average price, in order to get my out. That would have put me about 50 pennies higher than where I got out. I only ended up getting out mid 50s. This thing is $1 higher than where I got out initially. So MSFT has an absolute dalliance today with that 424 level. Take your pick. It's either 424 or the 200 on the 5, because look how many, and 200 is the dark blue line. Look how many bounces we keep getting at that 200 area. We have not had a closing print south of the 200 on the 5 since the bell rang. Okay, we've had wicks, but that's it. And then V-shaped retracements on every single wick into 424. So we'll see exactly if this one keeps zigzagging or sound waving, as Ram corrected me earlier there, because I felt it was kind of a little bit sound wavy. So we'll see exactly what we get, and we will not get upset on our MSFT trade. But look at Apple right back into near high a day again. Now knocking on the door again of 196 HOD on the day, 195.97. We're printing 83, so we're smidge away from that key level. It's also, you know, just a skosh below resistance level 1 on pivot. So that's hanging out at 196.10. I'm more inclined to look at the whole dollar level as that key area of resistance to see if we can make it down. It's been 2 straight days now for Apple of lower highs and lower lows. The best day, I mean, the peak, if you want to call it the crest, is going to be June 5th. And then we had lower highs and lower lows on June 6th. Today, it's not over, but we definitely have lower lows. We'll see if we don't get any higher highs. To get higher highs than yesterday, we got to print above 196.5. We were having trouble with 196 right now. So we'll see that if it comes. But remember, WWDC coming up on Monday. I'm personally expecting to be a sell the news event unless something absolutely novel and market shattering happens. You know, if it's just what we anticipate, a couple of additions to Siri, maybe some AI software here and there. But I'm going to have my orders layered on my personal account to add at every $5 level. That's how I'm going to play this. So AAPL at high a day as we speak. And we can see here that the majority of these Mag 7 names are all curling up on a futures balance, really saving except for the monster, NVDA. This one's still trading below the 50 on the 5. The 50 on the 5 is hanging out at the 1195 area. We've been kind of, you know, consolidative below 1195. There have been a couple of outlying prints, namely the IB high over here that we got, which is 1198.40. So we'll keep eyes on these names, but I know everybody and their mother's third cousin wants to talk about these two names over here, GameStop and AMC. And AMC, you know, I was looking at this one when the Katina man was short, because this, for whatever reason, was having quite a dalliance with 5.5. You can see here the umpteen amount of bottoming tail candles, a little bit above 5.5, a little bit below 5.5. That's what we're right back into that level again. We did dip into 5 1/3, but look at that rounded bottom to take us right back into the volume weighted average price on AMC. So we'll have to see if this one can get above and stay above that volume weighted average price, because it's been awfully consolidative on the day, but it has done its fair share of volume, guys. AMC has done almost 100 million shares. Obviously, GameStop having done way more, 144 on that side of the meme world, Obi.
Yes, sir. I am just watching this lift here. So lift is kind of interesting to me. Why is that? It's kind of a day 2 play. We had some news yesterday in the pre-market, a little bit of a catalyst there. Let me just pull up what it was right here. because I am kind of forgetting. But okay, so it had a. I'm trying to remember, where is this? Anyways, there was a strong relative volume and buying pressure off of in the pre-market right there yesterday. Okay, so let's go into compound annual growth rate. So yeah, exactly, about 50%. So sorry, what was that?
CAGR, yeah, I love CAGR. Compound annual
yeah.
growth
So
rate.
a good outlook, right, to the future on that. So it got a nice little bid off of that news in the pre-market. Again, strong volume, and then we faded off. Today we kind of come right back in, but as of right now, we are testing yesterday's lows. So again, strong relative volume day, and we are coming in right into these lows after doing a significant sell-off off of these highs. 1681 right there, and then we've come down about almost a point, about almost 7%, 6.76% over the past hour or so into yesterday's low. So I'm kind of watching the tape here, just looking to see if we kind of hold this level from day one off of the news, or do we kind of continue this trend to the downside that we've been having? So I do want to take a little bit further of a look left and see what we've been doing on the daily as well. So on the daily, we can see that we kind of topped out at just underneath 21 over the past couple of earnings, and then we've been downtrending as well on the daily off of that. A little bit of a pop yesterday, but comes right back in. You can see again interesting stuff here. When you start drawing some lines on the chart, you can see that I had one here as well from yesterday. But overall, kind of trend is holding as of right now. So I'm curious to know whether or not we're going to push past this day low here, and maybe there's something potentially there for the trade that I'm looking for. Maybe a little bit of a reversion, maybe a little bit of a pop off of these lows here.
Reversion, man.
Maybe, it's the reversion man, for sure. When is he talking again? I think
he's blacked out until Monday, right? Because they got, not Monday, Tuesday, the FOMC meeting, right? So they have that blackout period or whatever.
Yeah. So he'll the reversion man himself will be gifting us with his presence on Tuesday with the FOMC. Coming out then. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm watching right now. What are you guys watching? I know everybody's watching GME at 37 now. As it kind of comes right back in. I did we talked about those anchored VWAPs from those high volume days or bars right there. Those are these two bottom ones. Now there's also VWAP on the day, right? So this is VWAP on the day over here. So now it's a little bit of a battle between like the swings and the intraday volume potentially there as well. So what is this VWAP at? I have it at 40.74 here. So we've been kind of pinballing in between these two anchors as of right now. There, we attempted in the morning, we come right back in, and now we're kind of making a leg towards those highs. It's interesting that this little wick is just at the same point where volume expansion started happening yesterday around the middle of the day, again, in and around this 33, 34, 35 price, and then price really started accelerating with that volume coming in to the ticker. And as of right now, we are in that place where we saw buyers yesterday as well, and it seems like we are ticking up on that quite aggressively. You can see the tape right here. Tape speed and aggression is something we talk about. Shout out to Wayne right there, who kind of coined that term on the floor. So speed and aggression on the tape is definitely a great indicator, and we are definitely getting some speed and aggression into the ask right here in the book and on the tape there. So let's kind of observe this for a little bit. Let's see if it can get to VWAP right there at that 39 level here on my chart on PPRO, but I have it at 40.73 here on this other chart. Now this chart kind of takes into account some of the pre-market action as well, so the calculation it can be a little different as well. So I like to watch a little bit of both the VWAPs there. So 38 coming in, potentially 39. Let's see if we can test that 40 mark right there. I'm still kind of watching lift to kind of potentially lift back up and go for a ride on that one there.
You're going to make puns in Adara's place, eh? Oh, you're going to drop puns now. I love it.
I know I haven't been here for a while, but there was a time where where the chat wanted us to do that competition, that poll for who would win a punning competition.
You were Dara?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, look, you know how much I
remember that.
respect you and I love you as an individual, but Adara will murk you in that.
You know what?
Bro.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Pun competition.
Very talented at the puns. That is.
Yeah,
for
she's
sure.
really good at it.
But
Obi, well,
okay,
Sean's
is saying
calling
Obi
Obi.
would win. All right.
All right,
Cool.
he's on the Obi
Thank you for
train.
the confidence.
I like it.
I will do my best to bring it in and be as punny as possible. You know. But like I said, looking for a bit of a lift on Lyft over here. What are you watching?
Well, Ram first and foremost wants to know, should she start a pun jar? So you drop some puns, we throw some money in the jar.
Yeah.
Dara throws some money, we throw. I mean, she throws some puns, we throw some money in the jar, and then
we can throw puns in the jar. We can throw money in the jar. You can throw a little
we
bit
can
of
throw
both,
whatever we want. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool. Now again, I'd have to come up in the back and like shout the puns because I'm not sitting here every day.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
It's a little bit
I
unfair.
would definitely, I might be a little bit of a competitive person when it comes to that kind of stuff. So you know, that jar will definitely fill up. There is no doubt about that. Let's see what.
I just want to cover AMC real quick. I'm long AMC at 66s. I wet my beak there at 75s, or sorry, 73s, excuse me. I'm looking for continuation. I'm cognizant of the fact that the closing print is at 77s. The volume's dropping off a little bit here. We're going to see what we get. I wanted to see if we would squeeze a little bit here on AMC. We're about, you know, I know it's a GME related rally because of Roaring Kitty, this, that, and the other, but obviously these memes run together at times. And so I wanted to see if we were going to get a bit of a squeeze here on some of these names prior to Roaring Kitty coming live. He's scheduled to be live in about 18 minutes. From what I gather in the chat, there's over 100,000 people waiting at his channel, whatever, for that live. So we'll exactly wait for that and see what comes. But now I'm out of the money now as it breaks down below my entry at 66s. We're now 64s. I want to pack my patience a little bit here to see if we can hold up at these levels. There was a long area of consolidation. You saw Sean short this earlier at that 55 level. I'm talking about 555 to 560. So now that we've cleared 555, 560, I want to see if we can actually use it as support. So I don't want to paper hand this trade super quick here just because we came back into support, formerly resistance. We'll see what we get, but it looks like it is coming down now, and perhaps this is a time to add at this level, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm adding at this level over here, and to see if we can wet our beak on some more profits to the high side. If it does break the $0.50, that is the end of my trade on this AMC trade here, Obi.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The show is not over when it comes to AMC, and the game has not stopped when it comes to GME. So we are definitely awaiting potential continued volatility and continued moves. Again, it seems like these are tickers that are pretty. Again, we talk about volatility, but opportunity. What's the word I'm looking for?
What are you looking for?
There's lots of opportunity, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're filled with opportunity. Let's say that on these tickers. But yeah, let us know in the chat how you guys have been trading. Have you guys been trading GME and AMC? How have you guys been trading? Are you guys going long? Are you guys going short? Like, what is the move? What is the perspective there? And there are definitely other tickers that are still trading in this market. So
no
I know that people may not even be trading the meme stocks because they're like, yeah, that's not part of my playbook. So that's something I don't touch. So that's definitely very valid as well. So let us know in the chat what you guys are up to today when it comes to trading, and we will definitely look at that plethora. Definitely, internet enforcers. Yes, plethora is a good word, and definitely fits what I was potentially looking for as well.
And we also want to hear back from the chat, Obi, about what they want talked about on the afternoon rundown, where they get to have their say every day between 2 and 2:30. Get into the chat right now if you want to see how the Katina Man and the Neil traded GameStop, AMC, and all the other meme names. You gotta go in the chat. You hit exclamation point, then the word join, space, followed by the $, and enter the ticker of your choice. Hit GME, hit AMC, hit Hood, hit Vana, whatever. Hit whatever you want, but go into the chat, have your say. Otherwise, we don't cover the stocks that you want covered. And I mean, really, we're here for you. So if you're not voting, we're kind of not getting the full experience here. So get into the chat right now, have your say. And no, J-Lo, stash is not an acceptable ticker. It will not show up. I tried to get Brendo yesterday, put it on the rundown, but stash times 2
Yeah,
today.
it's stash
Okay.
squared today, right? So
Yeah, because we got the Obe, the one, the Canobe with his own stash
have you,
today. So
have
I
you
love
seen
it.
my old? Have I shown you my pictures? I had a full-on handlebar
No,
with
bro.
the hard curls.
Are we able to get pictures of them?
I might be able to pull
All
it
right,
up on
we'll
my
do it
phone
later.
a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was I was definitely a little bit of a mustachio man there.
Love it.
In the past, but I had to sadly cut off those ends there, kind of, you know.
Sadly?
maybe a little bit.
So you did
make
it
a little bit more
begrudgingly?
tame. Yeah, I did not. I had it for years.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know, and it took years to kind of grow it out. It was nice. I might have been a little proud of it, but
Me a morning.
yeah.
I'm just
I mean,
trying
no.
to take forever.
Honestly, if I shave this off, this will be back by like next week. But
Yeah, yeah.
having it grow out to like a nice handlebar kind of
Understood.
curled most. But it was very like it was very high maintenance, and I was just like, you gotta wax it every day, otherwise, you know, it kind of just
Really, eh?
dangles there.
No way. That's intense
Yeah,
work.
Yeah, you got to take care of it. You know,
The beard was a lot of work, which is one of the reasons I got rid of it
definitely,
as well. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, guys. I feel there's a bit of a hidden seller here at 65s. We're long on AMC to defend this 60 penny level, but every time we make it up into 65s like we are right now, look, there's not that much size hanging out in the book here, and I'm live, so I can see all the gateways. And yeah, so I feel there's a bit of a hidden seller at that 65. Let's see if that iceberg is really there. The reason I'm long and defending 60, there was a long area of consolidation there in the morning, and so I felt that this was an obvious area where there was either a buyer or a seller. In either case, I want to look to use that former area of resistance as support. We'll see if that manifests. I've got my first beak wetter hanging out at 70 pennies there. So we'll see what we get, and we will not get upset. Shout out to Neil Roberts. This other one over here, CLEU. Look, this isn't no GameStop. It's no AMC, but it's a good looking name on the day. 53% now. It's absolutely respected anything to do with the 20 period on the 5. Look at the umpteen amount of wicks that all respected the 20. Initially, it was more aggressive holding at the 10. The more, you know, deeper retracement held up at the 20 here, about 2 3/4. So let's see if this one continued to go. 350 essentially HOD, 347 to be exact. But there you go. It's curling back up, looking to test that area. I think I gave you the deets on this earlier. It is $10.33 million market cap. It's a Chinese company, and it has about 3 million share float. And I want to let you guys know what the short float is here on CLEU. Okay, so 1% short, nothing really to write home about there, so we don't really need to concern ourselves with the short float, but I do like that chart pattern. It's one hell of a chart pattern on the day, you know, but as we always say, these ones are around for a good time, not necessarily, though, a long time. Back to AMC here, as I really am trying to pack my patience for this 560 defend and pop. We did make it our way up to that 5 3/4, held up below the closing print from yesterday. Yesterday's closing print on AMC, 579. Here we go again with 565, and as we see it again, we are unable to break that 565, and again, come back down into 6.4. The iceberg remains there at the 65 penny level on AMC. It's down 2 3/4, but I'm playing a technical level there. So we'll see exactly what we get. Big Kyle Burdett in the house. Sharif, I'm not even reading this, bro. I'm not even reading it, Kyle.
What did he say? What did he say?
Enzymes and hormones. What are we talking about here? This is meme day, Big Kyle. Let's hear about your trades on these memes. No, we know Big Kyle ain't about that life. He's about what you're in right now. He's about that SPY. He's about that ES, and he loves to go short like you are right now too.
Somebody in the chat was like, because I just asked just earlier, what are you guys trading? And I was taking a quick read. People were long GME. People might have been short GME. I saw a couple other names as well, and someone said SPY, and I was like, huh, what is the spider up to? And look at this, the spider definitely climbing up the spout off of this morning dip here, all the way from, what was this? This was 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock right here, 5:31, all the way to 5:36 halves. Holding VWAP as of right now, but making a little bit of a lower high as well. So I'm watching the futures as well. We did retrace a good part of the move, a strong bid on the day. But yeah, I'm gonna try out a little bit of a short here, see if it kind of works out there on the spider. But I do want to go back and keep my eyes on lift as well. Lift with what is this? This is a 15-minute chart here. So let me pull up what I'm talking about for you guys here, so you can see as of right now. First little green candle as of now, but still 9 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print. So I'm gonna be a little bit patient here for this candle to close, and we shall see if
There it is. Nice.
It kind of comes in. What's going on?
AMC broke above that level. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Are you in it, Katina Man?
We're long 35 and 37.
He's long. The Katina Man is long 35 and 37, guys. On GME, obviously. So shout out to him. He printed. They both broke. They were sorry to interrupt the one that can know, but AMC and GME both kind of broke out through their funk. We had a 37.5 break there on GME, popped up into about 38.25. We had about the 100th% of the move on AMC as it broke like pennies as opposed to dollars on this name. Again, it really isn't matter. It doesn't matter all that much about pennies or dollars. It really depends on how much size you have on the trade. And so if it moves pennies with 100,000 shares, it moves pennies with 100,000 shares. If it moves dollars with 10 shares, you get the point. So keep your eye out. We're still below key technical indicators for myself here on GME. We're below VWAP, which is hanging out just pennies below $40. I believe it like in the mid 80s. I think if we get a claim of VWAP on a closing basis, that could be a good look for GME. I'm not saying we're going to move parabolically as we did yesterday in the aftermarket. And if you want to see a parabolic move, an uninterrupted parabolic move due to the fact that there are no volatility halt parameters after 4 o'clock. This thing moved, and it moved a whole bunch, and here's the look. So this is the closing print from yesterday, right there, that's 4 o'clock. And then from the 4 o'clock print where we closed at 46 1/5 to the highest print, we moved up 46 1/3% on GME in the aftermarket yesterday. And that's because there's no halt parameters. So you kind of need to know about that. And it didn't move higher than 67.5 on Blue Ocean, but it was doing plenty of volume, believe me, on Blue Ocean last night. So these things are just not about intraday trades. It looks like Hero. They'll run in the aftermarket. They'll run overnight. They'll do what they have to do.
Yeah, I'm just setting up for I want to listen in to what the kitty has to say. So I did pull up the stream on my phone. I will be kind of listening in while he's talking. Again, it is an event that I've been waiting for since we found out that this was going to happen. So yeah, GME is still holding that 38. We are kind of slowly trickling up into daily VWAP here. Let me pull up the chart, bring that back for you guys here. That we did some charting a little bit earlier. We're holding some, I would say, some levels of significance on the dip. A little bit of a wick, and we are kind of maybe just pulling back up into that VWAP. Let's see how far we can get. 38s are printing right now. You can see the tape right here. No real significant size showing up on the book as of right now. But again, definitely a lot of volume going through. It has done 150 million shares traded on the day today. So definitely a little significant there. We're talking about that volume expansion coming in. How many shares did we trade yesterday, you may ask? I am also asking as well. So let me just go to the daily chart here just to take a quick, make a quick comparison of yesterday's volume versus today's. So 206. So very similar to that day one, right? We talked about 206.9. Yesterday, it was 206.6 million. And today, as of right now, it's not even lunchtime. We still got 6 minutes until noon, and we've already traded 156, coming into 157 million shares on the day on GME itself. So yeah, I am kind of still in this SPY short, just watching the market. Let's see, the NQ is definitely bidding up, and a friend that I know a lot of people have been talking about in the past few weeks is NVDA. We know that NVIDIA has been kind of pushing to the moon. Now again, next week, starting Monday, is the split day. So NVIDIA right here, you can see the split, is getting a 10-to-1 split, which will be implemented on Monday. I don't know what time that comes in, but I think maybe potentially right off the 4 a.m. print, but I have no idea. But yeah, we can expect it to be trading if it kind of closes in and around these prices at 1200. We can expect it to open up in and around 120 on Monday, and that'll definitely be interesting to kind of see. Now again, NVIDIA, I have my anchors here. I do like my anchors. Shout out to Brian Shannon there. I do like my anchors every now and then, and strong volume coming in off of that earnings. You can see that we've been holding that at the average volume, some of those prices as well on NVIDIA. Let's go to a higher time frame here, and let me take that anchored off the chart right there so we can see a cleaner chart, of course. On NVIDIA, you can see that over the past couple of years, definitely we know what AI has been doing. Everybody is trying to get on the AI train, and by everybody, I'm talking about significant market cap tickers, Microsoft, Apple event on Monday as well. So we'll see. So, and these are the guys who are selling the shovels in this gold rush towards AI. So definitely they've been making quite some bank there, and that sentiment and that pressure has been showing up on the chart here, that buying pressure over the past couple of years, 2023, 24 being quite extensive, and yeah, really kind of pushing up right there. I'm curious to know what this looks like on even on a higher time frame. Look at the 6-month chart. Holy, let's go down to a three-month. And yeah, so very, very strong trend. Look at those bars kind of just like running up. So this will be interesting to see what it does after the split on Monday. Again, lower price. It will become a much lower price stock right there. But 3 more minutes till the kitty is meowing. I don't know about meowing, Sharif. Oh, definitely roaring with this kind of action there.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Buddy was what, over unrealized last night. I think Jimmy hit a high of 67 overnight. 67.50 is the high that I'm seeing here. Unrealized over $1 billion on the position. So definitely some hard swings there of PNL. But again, if you're trying to make the big bucks, you got to swing. You got to be able to kind of stomach the swings as well, right? Yeah. So that's a big part of making the big money. I do believe in that. And Kitty is definitely a prime example of that. He's a smart man, to say the least, I think.
Oh yeah, you can't be dumb and be doing that kind of stuff. All right,
he was calling this stuff out years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Look, right? Man, I mean, yeah.
There are mechanics to this trade, I think that, again, are way above my pay grade. But you know what? The move is the move. The trades are there. The opportunities are definitely a plethora of opportunities.
I love how you're on that
chat. Yes, sir.
All right, crap stock. Just a quick question, bro. Will the ATR be affected with the NVIDIA split? So I did a little research for you, my man. No. A stock split itself doesn't affect the average true range of a stock. The ATR is a measure based on volatility, not the absolute stock price itself. So hope that helps, and I hope that that figures with you however you were looking at trading it. All right, back into AMC. I think the end of the trade for me on AMC is going to be this beak-widder that I have up here. You can't really see it for whatever reason. It's yellow. I'll change the colors on this chart, but I'm looking for a break-even retracement on AMC, and break-even on the day is a little bit below that 580. So if we can defend 560 and curl up into 580, I'll be looking to take out my position there on the remaining amount. I also don't want to disrespect Carvana, because I was in the sim earlier today when my live account wasn't back up yet, and I was trading this to the high side, to the north side, and Obi, funny enough, sat down. He's like, "Are those shorts?" I'm like, "No, those are logs." It was actually profitable, funny enough. But here, there's a gnarly looking double top at that 111 area. They're both topping tail candles into 111. So I feel like there was aggressive shorting or profit taking into that level, kind of a random level with which to have resistance. In any event, it hasn't manifested any double top other than having two crests over here because it's still holding the 10 period on the 5 to the downside here. It hasn't broken below it. So good look on Carvana. It's up 4 3/4, heavily shorted name. I'll give you the short float on Vana in a second, CVNA. Let's see what the updated float is. 24.5% of the 115 million shares is shorted. So that's a fantastic look. All right. We did get a move up there into the high 60s, but still nothing happening right now. We're waiting for Roaring Kitty. It is now 12 o'clock. I've got the stream up. He's not live yet, so we're going to, it says, you know, waiting for Roaring Kitty. And let's see how many people are hanging out in his chat. 233,111 people are in the chat right now waiting for Roaring Kitty to roar up a storm, and we'll see exactly what he has to say. Here we go. AMC is now breaking 60. So let's see if this is just a couple of wicks or we're going to tank here, a sell the news kind of event. I've already got my stop placed. I'm not going to adjust anything here in case it's a quick wick and move back up, but yeah.
It's hitting the halt band.
It's hitting everything, yeah.
It's about to halt down if this kind of, whoa, what was that?
Are you talking about GME?
Yeah.
Yeah, GME at 35.50. It's about to halt at the $0.5 level if it hangs out there anymore. Let's keep eyes on GME. Let's see if it's going to halt. Not halted yet. I'm still waiting for that H and the blackout of the screen to come in. We're still at 50s. It still hasn't halted. I'm still waiting. Let's see. It hasn't moved. Nope. Up into 62. So it looks like a fault halt there. And AMC retraces right above into 60 as well. Lots of volatility on the name to be expected as we anticipate his arrival. And, you know, fashionably late, I guess this guy is, because he's got 250,000 people hanging out in his channel over here waiting for him. And so we'll exactly wait to see what we get there, but nothing new so far. Back to 35.50 again. 500,000 now.
400,
oh, wow.
People
I literally just saw 200 something, so I bet you a bunch. Oh, wow. Yeah, it just went up by 200,000, Ob. So yeah, 429, 334 people waiting. You guys get the idea. A lot of people are waiting for him right now. And down goes GME again, Ob. You want to cover that?
They keep, I feel like the band keeps on resetting there because it's looking like it's going to halt. It's looking like it's going to halt, and then it doesn't really halt there. So it was happening at 35.88, and then we kind of maybe we reset the timer, we reset the bands, and the bands are definitely making it dance over here further down. And there we go. There is the halt right there, 35.11s all the way from 38. So yeah, a little bit of a late show, and maybe participants are like, oh no, what's happening? He hasn't shown. And just everybody rushes into the bid there, and GME is now halted. Are you trading AMC? What's AMC up to?
It's fine.
AMC
I'm like 2 pennies
down?
out of the money. No,
Okay,
no.
Yeah.
It came right back into that 60 level. Oh, if it reclaims 60, I'm going to stay in this because that was my line in the sand. That's the level that I looked at as a key level of resistance. It can't claim it right now. So if it remains below 60, I'm going to cut the trade. If it can reclaim 60 quickly, we'll get back in. Otherwise, the stop is through the break of 50. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening over here, Ob. Back to Roaring Kitty. He's still not live yet. We're still waiting. Yeah, but AMC did not make the same kind of aggressive move as GME, and that's probably why I'm in it. But now 6 pennies out of the money. Got to look to get out of this, I guess, if it keeps heading down.
Yeah, we'll definitely be waiting for that. So the halt time I see here is 12:02:36 was the last print. So we're going to be waiting plus 5 minutes on that. So 12:07:36 should be the time that it should open up. But again, I was talking to Yanni about this yesterday in the back there. I was like, okay, the 5 minute is kind of the time when these tickers should be halting. That's kind of the regulation or the rules or whatever you want to call it. But what we kind of noticed was it's not perfect. It's kind of, sometimes it's a little bit over, sometimes it's a little bit less. It's been kind of weird there on both GME and AMC, and I don't know what's up with that. We know a couple of days ago that the whole NYSE exchange had that problem with with the glitching and kind of the book being all over the place. The data wasn't necessarily coming through. That was interesting.
Berkshire was
as
down
well.
93%.
Yeah, you see that Berkshire.A slap?
It was nuts.
Oh,
it was nuts.
Nasty, 100K to the upside, illiquid.
Out.
Somebody definitely slapped the ask on that one when it came to Berkshire A. Definitely putting the A in the Class A shares with that one there.
Come on, Ram.
So yeah, I guess we'll just wait. Wait for this GME to kind of open up. The game definitely has not stopped there. Let's take a look at some of the sympathy plays as well, some of the other meme stocks and what they are up to. We know this season was distinctly different from the last when it came to sympathy movers. Now, of course, AMC being the closest one, definitely has been moving maybe in steps, sometimes a little disconnected. We know that Sharif is in AMC long as of right now. Yeah. It is trading at 549. But another name that was kind of running along with these tickers there, again, short, heavily shorted being kind of the theme, was NVAX. So let's take a quick look at Novavax here and see what Buddy is up to. Novavax just trading sideways there. Now, we know that Novavax had a bit of a squeeze over the past few days as GME and AMC kind of pulled back. Novavax held some of those levels and pushed even further, and we did have some squeezing action right there. So another potential liquidity trap happening there. You have the initial couple of days, strong volume, and on low volume, doesn't necessarily even consolidate. It just straight up starts trickling up. Now, we know that Novavax is a heavily shorted name. Let's take a quick look at what the short float on that one is. Novavax sitting at 33.97. I have here from one of the sources. So 33.97 is pretty wild there, with a third of the float sitting short on Novavax, and that one has definitely been in a bit of a squeeze. So consolidation on low volume, we talk about that, and then a nice little trickle up and volume kind of picking right back up as it starts to accelerate and maybe potentially exhaust. We saw it in the pre-market yesterday, highs of 27s, straight flush off the open. Maybe that buying pressure is a little bit done for now, but it is still holding prior day highs. So with only about a minute left there, Sharif, for GME to open up, what's your plan on this trade? I know you're in AMC. Are you going to be taking fills on GME? That was a good short on his lack of show, and he still has not shown his face.
No.
So the kitty's not really roaring. Maybe he's taking a nap. Maybe a little bit of a purr.
I'm reading all these hilarious comments in the chat, like his internet is out, or E-Trade kidnapped him, or Morgan Stanley sent their people. Like, we're obviously tongue-in-cheeking it, of course, guys. Just trying to keep it light here. But yeah, in all seriousness, okay, so now I am stopped out of AMC. It did break my level. Am I still positive on it? Let's find out. On AMCA, I'm still positive on it, so it's all good there. So
open.
Okay, so GameStop is open. Time to look at the monster GME. Where is it? There it is.
Right back
here we go. Here's the look at the book. All right, down to 3 1/4. There seems to be some support at the $0.25. So it did bounce off that 33 1/4, right back above 34. A bit of a hammer candle forming right now. Still definitely towards the lows. Let's see if we show that 33 1/4 again on the ask. We're at 34 1/4 right now, but I did see big size there when it was down at the $0.25. As you can see, obviously, this thing's moving a million miles a minute, or tape speed, or whatever you guys want to call it. But what I see on the chart is one hammer candle forming. Now, you don't want to put too much stock into one hammer candle, but all the 2 subsequent hammer candles in the troughs before it all looked really good, and they all led to positive moves. I'm talking about that one over here and this one. So if this one closes, is it now time to go long GameStonk at this level? So we're at 35s and a half. This is one hell of a hammer candle. I'm going long at, okay, let's see if we can get filled over here, if we can get a bit of a dip. So we're long GameStop. It's going to have a 34 3/4 hold. All right, so we'll take some out over here on GameStop. Nice. Let's go up a little bit more. Let's see if we can get some up at the 36s. Having trouble with the 36 level. There seems to be a bit of, it might halt to the high side here. Here we go, 35.95. I'm going to hold into this halt. Let's see if it halts into here, halting at 95s, a few more seconds. Let's see if we've had multiple false halts today, and it looks there,
Halted.
oh, it's gonna halt.
Nice.
It halted, nice. So I'm in the false halt, I'm at 35.49.
Real halt.
Sorry, I'm in the halt, guys. Relax, okay. 35.94 at this level. Let's see if we can move up a little bit. We have a local area of resistance at 38.
Yes, sir. So yeah, definitely we dip. So we talk about those anchors right there. We come right back into that that initial day anchor, and then that buying pressure still shows up. We halt down, which was pretty interesting, into it, and then halt right back up off of it. So a little bit of a dance that we are doing with these anchors here. I'm still kind of shorting the SPY here. Still waiting for Kitty to show up. There still hasn't shown. It's been about 10 minutes past the time that he said he's going to be there. But you know what? Fashionably late, as Sharif said, is maybe what he's aiming for there. That chat is going absolutely wild on that channel. So absolutely crazy there. Yeah, no. How are you guys kind of poised for this trade? Are you guys going to be taking that GME or AMC? I know a lot of people were saying long, buy in the chat, and some people also kind of maybe on the other side shorting as well. So yep. Just kind of waiting there as it chops around this anchored VWAP and the same prices that we consolidated off of yesterday in and around the low 30s. So it should be opening. I have the last print here at 12:09:21.
Yep.
So it should be opening at 12:16:21. So let us wait and see. Sorry, 12:14:21. Sorry about that. It should be opening in and around that time on GME. Is AMC halted at all?
AMC, our friend AMC.
I don't think it's really doing halting.
It's really, we had a decent trade on, but it's not the same thing, you can tell. I mean, these two used to run in tandem a lot together, but I think because this is such a GME specific move with the roaring mouse or whatever, anyway. People will call him the sleeping kitty in the chat. I don't mean to be little, but hurry up, show up on time. No, seriously though, I don't think AMC is gonna manifest into the same thing. It really hasn't had that kind of parabolic nature. To be honest with you, what was it up the most yesterday? Like single digits, right? AMC, like 9%, 8% at the high?
It wasn't too
it
crazy.
didn't move in the same way, no.
So it's a little, if you're looking for sympathy, it might not be as like the same magnitude, right? But yeah, GME is definitely one of the main focuses here on the day. I just want to go back to, does not trade on the NY, trades on the NQ, to lift here as it is potentially getting a little bit of a lift to the upside. Again, off of yesterday's lows, high volume day yesterday, bit of a catalyst. So I do want to kind of keep this on watch as well while I'm watching some of these other tickers at the same time. So we shall see what that is up to on lift. Let me just pull that one up. We were talking about this earlier. I had an alert at prior day's low. We kind of are getting a slight bit of a bid with the first green 15-minute candle. What's going on, Sharif?
So what are the chats like? Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty.
Yeah. Maybe you need to, you got to do the pss, 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 pss,
you have two cats, Ob. How do you get them to come over?
Literally that. I think that's the universal call to kind of bring in the kitty is the pss, pss, right? Is like the repeated pss, pss. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like you sound like a mouse or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
don't know.
what it is. It's like maybe slightly squeaky. But yeah, maybe we should all go pss, 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 and he's gonna show up. I have no idea. Yeah, no.
Good vibes
Again,
today.
We were talking about cats just a couple days ago, right? We were just like, I love the nature of cats. A little nonchalant, zero F's given kind of attitude, and that's definitely. I like to embody that mindset. Definitely when it comes to trading, like what's the next trade? Not really too involved in one trade or the other, right? Kind of apathetic in a sense, and just moving on to the next one.
You're just gonna drop that word super quick like that, just to undercover, huh? I like it.
Words.
Ob, We got halted on GME 12:09:21. That means we're slated to open at 12:14:21. Here, yeah, 12:14:21. That's 10 seconds.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's see what do we do here on GameStop. I'm in this up halt. Let's see if it continues up. And what the situation is. So right now we're moving down a little bit. They're right back down to 35. So I'm gonna have to get out here, and obviously it moves right back up. So it's all right. We took a little bit of profit there. Am I still positive on it, or what's the situation? Yes, very positive on it. Good. All right. So let's see if we can get back in somehow again. And weasel our way into this trade, because the reason I don't want to give up on this name is because this was one hell of a hammer candle here on the 5, and the prior hammer candles all led to nice moves up. So this hammer candle I'm talking about, this one as well, and this is the one that I'm looking at right now. So if we can get something here, but yeah, it looks like it's headed right back down again. So that was good out. 34 is about to break. Well, there was support at 34 there. Let's go back into the trading screen here, because there seems to be support at the whole dollar level. For how long? I haven't had eyes of the size, and it did break momentarily, but right back above. A bit of tug of war happening right now between buyers and sellers at that key $34 level. Not a level that I had earmarked, I'll tell you that, but I guess you got to look at all these whole dollar levels. We give the break of the whole dollar level quite aggressively. They're on our way down to 33. LOD on GME, 32.03. We're $1.50 above that right now, trading at 33.5. This is the lowest print on the day, guys. That right there, it was a hammer candle, which led to a huge up move from 32 all the way up into that top of 38.5. So that's why I was looking at this hammer candle as such, but alas, it was once, twice, and not OB thrice on this last hammer candle hero.
Yes, sir. So a bit of a maybe a change in behavior here on the lift. So I did get a slight bit involved, but yeah, GME coming right back into that 32. Now that 32 is low of day, so I'm curious to know what we do in and around that 32 price as well. So again, it's been halting up, it's been halting down, but we kind of talk about potential levels here, so we are trading a little bit below some of those anchors. But again, just an indicator at the end of the day, support and resistance and volume. I think, again, volume taking the most priority here. It is holding prior day consolidation, and even the day before that, what were these highs right here in around 31, right? So I think if you're really looking for a potential long, if I was looking for a potential long, again, I'm looking at some of these things I'm considering potentially some of these things before I execute on that. But yeah, it's still holding that 34, so still chopping around that 32, 33, 34, 35 area. Again, being that volatile, I think it makes sense to give it some room, because what are the chances you're going to have the perfect price? You know, like, what's the probability of that happening? It's I don't know about other players, but I know that I'm definitely not perfect. So I like to kind of ease into the move and give it the space that it really kind of deserves on that. And I think that 31, 32, let's see what we do in and around there before I really kind of do anything with that. But lift potentially coming in there with the second
NVIDIA's moving.
Second green candle happening. You're saying NVIDIA's moving.
It just popped up aggressively.
Spider might come to bite me here on that position that I got shorted if the market continues to go up there. We know that NVIDIA pretty much is the market as of recent. Again, what, 3 trillion yesterday or something like that? Yeah. So definitely working its way up to a much larger market cap, and I did get stopped out of the spider there on that move. So, all right, that's fine. What's the next trade? I think I'm going to be focused a little bit more on lift, and obviously keep SPY on watch as well. Again, fighting the trend a little bit, but I was looking for a potential more lower highs there on the spider. But if the market is going to take up, the market's going to take up. The high a day here on the ES being just above 53.80 here. So GME still holding that 33, still kind of holding on. And the kitty is still not here, so definitely interesting stuff there. Apple maybe potentially a slight little pullback on Apple. NVIDIA, yes, NVIDIA broke out. That's what you were saying right here, back above that 1200 mark on NVIDIA. So are we going to close strong into the end of the day here? It is a Friday. Sharif.
It is.
And yeah, so maybe.
Do you know that Apple's above 3 trillion and Nvidia's below 3 trillion again, given that latest pump? So Apple right now, the dead one, sitting at 3 trillion, essentially just 3 trillion and change. Nvidia sitting at 2.96 on that latest drop. But who knows, by the end of the day, that could be a different story over here. Here is the monster NVDA. And I got to tell you, this bamboozled me, because what we typically see with these charts, and again, this is probably a lesson in market context and not to rely heavily on chart patterns. Here's what I mean by that. This could either be construed as a bear flag or as a compression pattern preceded by a downtrend. If that was the case, if it was a compression pattern preceded by a downtrend, then it should resolve to the downside. If it was a bear flag, it should also resolve to the downside. It did neither of those. It broke to the high side and quite aggressively, breaking through that 1195 like it didn't even matter, that 1197 like it didn't even matter. Look at it, on the way to 1205. To go green has got to break above that 1210. That's $5 away. That's like 2 seconds of trading for NVIDIA. No, kidding. But you guys get the gist that it is a quick mover. So NVDA, really, you know, I wouldn't have had any right trade on this given my system. That's kind of, I guess what I'm trying to say is, maybe market context, you know, just is so much more important in the context of this type of stock than any chart pattern or anything that you can see technically. This thing has a propensity to want to go up rather than go down. That's just the feeling I get anyway. 1205, let's see if it can make its way up to 1210. Not like I'll have a short waiting at 1210 or anything. I just want to see if it does encounter some resistance there. Is there going to be any profit-taking selling at the closing print from yesterday? So NVDA on the way up. And I got to tell you guys, if you don't want to trade this $1,200 name because it's too rich for your blood, there are a number of other kind of derivative products that you can trade. There's NVDL, which I personally happen to like. Wow, a lot more expensive than when I traded it last. This thing was 40-something dollars. Now it's almost 70. So you can do that one, NVDL. There's NVDS as well, which is the short one. There's NVDX, which is more expensive. I believe that one's on the Amex. Yep, that's 165 bucks. Last time I saw this one, it was like 90 something. So again, another lesson in context, but be careful with NVDX. Look at that, sub 1 million volume, 901,000. Let's see what NVDS was doing. NVDS on the NASDAQ. This one, 1.3 million shares, so still not that good. NVDL, I think, should be the best of them, though. Yeah, almost 12 million shares done on NVDL, so you should be able to find some liquidity. 3 penny spread, 4 penny spread. Again, going back to that lesson that we did on the futures, when you have triple or double levered products, the spread by definition is going to widen given their leverage, okay? So when you trade these levered products, expect a bit of a spread. That's just kind of the nature of these beasts. Anyway, finding resistance now at 1207 and a third. Bit of a topping tail candle coming in here on NVDA. Let's quickly look to see if the roaring one has made his way to the chat. No, he has not. Still not there. Still about 434,000 people still waiting. He's over 20 minutes late. Yeah, and that's kind of the way it is there. Eddie R., I'm starting to feel this is a prank. Yeah, we need some, we need some Adara-style puns. Don't worry, we got Obe. He knows how to pun too, don't worry. Scott H., it's looking like Roaring Kitty got... I'm not saying that. Oh, come on, Scott. Don't be so bleak.
There was a comment that was like, he's like, oh yeah, high on catnip. No, they're like, yeah, in anticipation. There was a comment that was like, oh, cats like to play with their food before they eat, before they kill it. So it's like, all right, he's definitely maybe potentially playing with the food there. I did get a quick long there on GME, and then it came right back in, stopped out. Pretty much instantly, trying to keep the risk tight, right? Just a tad bit there, as it is quite volatile. Again, coming back into that day low over 32. I was risking like 50 pennies, which I don't think, I guess, makes too much sense on a name like this. But I am gonna be trying to kind of take tighter shots, I guess, on this name. But yeah, 32 potentially coming in. 32 is the low of day on GME. Let me just pull this up right here. So yeah, we are headed right towards that 32. So I was like, yeah, if we get below that, get into that low 33s, yeah, it's probably gonna hit that day low, and maybe we get a lick grab of that. But who knows? He's still not here, so. But the ticker is selling off, and you got to watch out for those halts, right? We talk about the downtrend. We talk about it's below the VWAP on the day. It's below both those anchors from the high volume days that we marked off of earlier. So as of right now, again, going back to the lesson we were talking about, we are below the average, the volume weighted average of the average participant, right? So the price of the average long or short participant underneath some of these prices. So let's see what we do with that. He is still not here. No. Let's see what does it say here on this thing. It says, "I'll wager with you. I'll make you a bet." That's kind of the memes that he has going on his
Yeah,
screen
I like that.
there.
I saw that.
But yeah, what's going on, Sharif?
All right, guys, we are brought to you by Vantage Point Software, created by the world-renowned trading software pioneer Louis B. Mendelson. Vantage Point forecasts stocks, futures, forex, and ETFs with a remarkable proven accuracy of up to 87.4%. Using artificial intelligence, Vantage Point's patented neural network process
starting 10 seconds.
predicts changes in the market trend direction 1 to 3 days in advance. Scan the QR code to learn more on the screen. Shout out to the folks there at Vantage Point. Sorry, guys, Sata, you know.
Oh, it started.
There it is.
There's
He's
some
here,
music.
guys. Here we go. So
The
it
kitty has
started now.
arrived.
Yep, he's going. So now the roaring one has gone live. Keep your eye on GameStop. Now we could see some crazy volatility. AMC's just flying up right now. GameStop's going down. AMC just pumped from 530 into 567 quicker than you can say, how do you do, baby? And it's about to break that key level that I got out at 5 3/4. For whatever reason here, AMC's moving. And it's up big. It's about to halt at the $0.75, guys. AMC is going to halt at 574. Let's see if this halts over here. Good move up, now down 1%, right back into that technical area of resistance. Let's see it halts. Okay, so AMC halted 574, halt right now. The Katina man is long on AMC. Shout out to him. We have a GameStop short halt. We have an AMC up halt. Oh, baby.
There he is.
Oh, baby. That's
I
all
love this
can
intro.
say.
People in the chat are like banger music. Yeah, definitely banger music. There's a bunch of like cat videos going on. He's watching a cat jump and catch some snow right now. This is absolutely wild. The game has just begun. Let's see what he has to say.
And he's
Okay,
got his
all right, yeah,
disclaimer on
disclaimer's
now.
up. All right,
Yeah,
you gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real. You know, GME is halted as of right now to the downside, so it'll be interesting. Last print was at 12:24:45, so about 5 minutes. It should open up at 12:29:45. So we will wait. Right now it's 12:27, so a couple more minutes until that happens. So just that disclaimer happening as of right now. Over 500K watching. I'm seeing right now in the chat there on that stream. So yeah. Definitely going to be interesting.
Nuts.
I'm curious to know what he has to say. Again, he was calling out this squeeze last time around from a long while back on Reddit, right? So he definitely
Here he is.
Potentially knows some things. There he is right there. I love the look. Long hair with the shades and the white. Oh
His
boy.
arm is broken.
Here we go. His arm is
Why
broken.
is his arm in a sling?
Because the arm is, I like that.
He got roughed up by the Morgan
Oh.
Stanley people. No, we're kidding,
What's
of
he
course.
saying?
We're just
He's type-
joking. We're just joking. But his arm is in a sling. What is he doing?
I love this.
Hilarious.
This is
I don't know what
absolutely
else
hilarious.
to say.
No words have been spoken.
This has been
words
one of
have
the
been
best.
spoken.
Yeah, this has
is
been one of the best
absolutely
days
crazy.
on the show. He's got GameStop up behind him, and it's
The
showing
memes.
it's down 32%. I don't know what kind of look he's going for here, but it's a downward chart. He doesn't seem to care. He looks like he's high, to be honest with you, at this point.
Yeah,
right?
we don't know what's going
Yeah.
on underneath those glasses, man. Those glasses are definitely hiding it. But I like the look. Definitely swag. What's going on there?
What is
on
this
his
guy?
Is he holding something in his hand?
He's-
Yeah,
okay,
he might
yeah,
be waiting
good
for the
call,
halt to
good call.
open.
I think
Who
that's
knows?
true.
Here we go. There's some noise.
He's
Okay.
gyrating.
I love this.
He's gyrating
The
for some reason.
The memes are on. This is absolutely beautiful. History is being made here. He might be having some sort of convulsion as of right now, but he's attempting to reach for his mouse. Here we go. He's laughing. Words are
This is
maybe
too
starting
much,
to be
dog.
spoken as of right now.
Come on.
He's saying, "Oh
He
shit,
muted
what's
his-
going on?"
You're
right.
okay.
He's, am I okay? Buddy, you are definitely okay.
All right, 40 seconds till the halt unopens. Yells Brenkels on the trading floor there. Keep your eye on that. We halted on AMC 12:26:08. On GME, we halted 12:24:45. So here we go, very close. Say again? The tap is 34 now on GameStop. It halted at 31.63. As you can see there, the tap, I'm being told, and I can see it right there. You can see it on my screen. Theoretical auction price, 34 bucks. I'm just listening to what he's saying. He's referencing the chat. He's referencing people. And he's talking about how this is all working out and stuff like so. We'll have to be able to kind of listen to him in and out. But waiting for this this halt to open up on. Here it is. There it is. It opens up big. And here we go. It's headed to the high side again, Katina man. So what do we do here? Here, let's go. Let's see if it's going to pop up, and there it is. We're long on GME. Let's see now if we can get up a little bit higher. We're long at 65s. Let's see, we're printing 47s down into 30. So we're gonna have to get out here. So we take a little bit of an L there. Oh, right back up. So we didn't get out, and right back into that area again. 37s showing up here. Let's see if we can get up a little bit more. We're long 36. No, if it breaks 36 again, I'm gonna have to get out everything at this level. But let's see if we can make it up into 38. A lot of buying and selling. I don't see any big move on the tape. Let's see if we can get some 38s, baby. We just got into the high 37s. A lot of orange coming in on my tape. Are you in it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in it, yeah.
I'm sweating from all the talking, bro. All right, so let's put out some in the 38s over here. So I'm going to put, oh, there we go. 38. We'll put 38.05 on this. Let's see if we can get that print. And there it is, Obi. Okay, we got the print. Nice. Go, GME, go, baby. All right, nice move up. I'm having the best time I've had on the show in a really long time. What a day it is. The roaring one is on. GameStop is moving up to the high side. Is AMC unhalted yet? No, not yet. So good day today for everybody. I hope everybody's having a good time.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I got stopped out on the initial one right there, but for about a two-point loser before I could even throw in my stop. That was absolutely wild there. Little pulling right back into 36 and popping right back into VWAP right there. We're talking about that VWAP being 39.71 as of right now. So let's see if we can make it up to VWAP, or we kind of just stay chopping and churning right there. Boom, right back in. So I stopped out on that one once more. So yeah, a little bit of volatility. So you gotta watch out for this one, as it is quite volatile, coming right back into that 35. But again, real risk down at that 31, 32 level. We are halting down now. So glad I stopped out of that one.
He's commenting about it.
I stopped out in that halt. He is starting to have more conversation right now. He's asking how everyone is doing. So yeah, he's definitely hanging in there on that one. But all right, so.
That was quite intense. I'm not
okay, his arm is fine. He's saying it's not a real bandage. He's fine. He's just messing around. So we know he's good. We know he's safe, Sharish.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. I was just trying to listen to what he said. So I have a live caption here because he doesn't have closed captioning turned on his channel. So I've downloaded this caption thing here to be able to kind of see what he says. I just have to refresh his feed. There we go. Okay, so now I've got it. So I'm going to leave this up here so you guys can see the words that he's saying. It's closed captioning what he's saying on there, not if you really care, but I'm just going to leave it up on my screen. You guys can be able to see it. Guys, you know, memes are not the only thing that are moving. Amazon is at high a day. Apple just printed high a day. Nvidia's at high a day. Meta just printed high a day. So things are moving here. Aside from these memes, like there is another market, and a lot of these Mag 7 names are printing at day's highs. We could be back near 500 again on META soon. We haven't been at this level on Apple all day, since yesterday anyway. We mentioned with respect to Apple that we would be getting lower highs today, at least it seemed. So we'll exactly watch what happens here. AMC also opened down aggressively. What beer is that? I can't guess. What is it?
No, you can't see it because he's
he doesn't want to show you. He's got a beer in his hand. He's asking you to guess. He's having a good old time over here, and we're trying to trade, bro. Let's go. So All right. Okay. So he's excited here. He's not talking about anything fundamental quite yet. So we'll pack our patience here. See if we can throw this one on every screen. There we go. So now you guys can see the closed captioning on all my screens there. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about here. Eddie R. So he is just showing up to say hi. Yeah, I guess. Well, we just started the stream, brother. Let's see what he got to say. He just opened up a beer. I know he's doing like a whole Austin 316 thing here. He thinks he's in the ring and everything. So we'll keep watching that. What are you looking at, Obi?
Yes, sir.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
He's like introducing himself, and he's just like starting to talk. He's just like, yeah, he's pouring himself a drink. He's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes,
Perfect,
sir, it
Ram
definitely
Ram.
is. And if there's anyone who deserves a drink, it might be the Roaring Kitty right there. Sipping Kitty as of right now. But yeah, AMC kind of coming right back into the low of the range there. We saw the halt up, and then it kind of opens up. Not really halted right now. Is it halted right now? No, it's not. It's not halted right now, trading at 532.
No, it's
so still holding that range on the day, just going sideways pretty much. Yeah, we've had a little bit of volatility off of that, but nothing too crazy as it's only been going sideways in about a 30-40 penny range right there. But GME still halted to the downside. Last print at 1232.07. So 1237.07 is going to be the print. Right now, I have the time as being 35.21. So still about a couple more minutes there until GME opens up there. But yeah, while this is happening, what are you guys trading? Are you guys trading this craziness on GME? Whew. I attempted a couple of trades there, but got slapped for a couple of points there as kind of attempts to halt up, and then it flashes back down. Glad I got it to the down halt, but again, this was wild. Halted down, going into him not showing up, clips the low a day on the right into 32, opens up all the way at 36 halves, and then attempts to push with like a 2-point wash. Now we're halted down at 32. What was that? 30. Was the last price printed was 35.41. So yeah, we are halted down just above that 35 mark within the range there. 35.41. You can see here on my tape, a lot of volume was sitting up there on the ask. Kind of stacked offers right there. There's the gray out finally. But yeah, no. I know something else that I'm watching. There's an IPO today, Sharif.
Oh yeah, Way, W-A-Y.
It's again, its tap is hitting like 22 as of right now. $1 billion IPO. Yep. Some decent underwriters as well. We got JPM, we got Goldman Sachs, and Barclays. So you know, let's see if the boys there want to defend some prices on that IPO. Seems like a decent IPO. Nice little weight as well. On the IPO, he's talking some jokes. Yeah.
Right now, he's talking about whether he feels like he's being censored or not, whether he is free to say what he wants. It looks like he's getting into the crux of why we're on here. He's like, I just want to jump on, and he's trying to say that it's himself. Okay, GameStop is open at the moment, so we're going to have to flip back here to GameStop. Below 35 here. We know that there's a good level of support at 32. We had one trough, and then the down halt was a little bit below 32. It looks like 32s are coming in here because we just broke 34s, but the bamboozlement, it is fast and it is furious. It's hard to trade this. I don't trade these halt names very well. Kind of hard to be able to control emotions and gauge levels with everything moving, dollars at a time on this name. And look at the tape speed. That is serious tape speed right there and book speed. Here comes the break of 33. There goes the break of 33. Let's watch what happens at 32. We know that there was price action support at that level owing to these two halt, one trough over here, and then the halt brought us to that level, but it looks like it's going to halt at the 2/3 of a dollar if we don't get a fake halt here. 65 showing up 64s on the bid. Let's see how long we hang out here. Nope, up we go again. So it doesn't halt there, and down we go. So the Hidalgo's playing with this one. A little bit above 33, a little bit below. I'm still waiting for that 32 price action support to show up and show me what it's going to do there. Show yourself, 32. Coming soon to I guess the theater in here. I guess. That would have been probably better for AMC rather than GameStop. But here comes 32, and there's a buyer at 32.02. No, that's going to halt at 32.03. If we hold up, no, up above we go again, and there goes 32 OB.
Yeah, this is absolutely wild. There, it keeps resetting the halt band right there. Again, you know that there's a timer for the halts. It has to move in a certain percent range within a given time. But if it doesn't, if it retraces, that band kind of resets and goes down a little bit further right there. So that little mechanic is definitely, I feel like, being played around with. But 32 holding as of right now, we kind of talk about that 32 level might be a little interesting. Might have some support there, but definitely a support and resistance level that's kind of shown itself over the past couple of days. We saw that yesterday. Day lows were in and around that 132. Let me just pull it up on the chart so we can see. Take these anchors off. Let me take that VWAP off as well, so make the chart a little cleaner. You can see that low day right there, in around that 32, holding prior day levels here. Prior day high before yesterday was 30.80, just underneath this shy of, or not the prior day high, the consolidation high. The high definitely was a little bit higher there as we bid up into the close and printed right there at that 32 mark. So I think, was that the closing price right there? So the close on June 5th was 31.50. So yeah, just in and around there. What's going on?
Okay, so he's actually talking now about the fundamentals of the company. He's basically saying, you know, what's the move here? The company, after obviously the retail focus of things, where does it become? He's talking about the futures of the company. He's talking about the reinvention. He's talking about believing heavily in Ryan Cohen, his vision. So now we're starting to get into the crux of why he was here. I mean, let's see what he's got to say. Let's, I guess, maybe reserve judgment, but, you know, from the fundamentals perspective, it's kind of hard to justify. Technically, obviously, an entirely different story because we're trading price action, but he's making the fundamental case now, and let's hear him out. Let's see exactly whether the market, you know, agrees with what he has to say or is going to show them exactly what they think by maybe tanking the stock. So we'll watch. And we're still getting, by the way, guys, Ram, if we can show the chart, we're still getting price action support at 32. You'll notice that we really haven't broken 32 decidedly, not saying we won't, but we're below it right now, but a little bit below it, a little bit above. Let's see what we get here. This is going to take us into low a day if we break this area. And now we are into low a day, 31, 32 LOD. We could halt here if we hang out. Let's see if the algos play with the halt parameters here and reset it. We've been here for a few seconds. Let's see. Nope, there it goes again, right back to the downside. And it's going to break 31 now. And there goes 31.99 showing up here on the bid, 31 on the ask. It could halt here as well. But if this has been kind of the false halt galore, so to speak, on this, and this looks like it's going to be another false halt. Possibly. No, this one's hanging out a little bit more. And there it is. We all halted at $31 exactly. The tap also showing 31, but this is a NYSE name, so sometimes the tap is not as accurate as some of the NASDAQ names. Anyway, still listening to what he's saying, but nothing really more to report. AMC simultaneously coming down at the same time. We're awfully close to that $5 level on AMC, and in the pre-market, $5 was a good level of support on AMC. Here it is. This is what I wanted to talk about. A lot of bottoming tail candles all found support at $5. I'm talking about that trading at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and yet again at 8. All had good support at $5. Also, yesterday's trading, you could see the low on AMC yesterday all had $5 support. So that could be an interesting trade as well on AMC for that $5 bounce. But again, this isn't really the main one. And so I feel that there is a degree of risk in AMC really not following through some of the moves, but I guess maybe better than tanking because GME, man, on the way down. And I didn't have eyes on this, but this looks like a good area of technical resistance here, guys. The 50 period has done quite well to kind of shadow some of the price spikes up on GME. So I'm going to keep my eye on the 50 on the 5 from going forward here, Ob.
Yes, sir. So again, we were talking about potentially looking at that short on SPY right there. So let me pull up the SPY. Some interesting action here as of right now. Bit of a double top here potentially. Let's see. We still have about a minute for this 15-minute candle to finish printing. This morning we had the jobs opening number at 8:30, and you can see the market kind of tanked very aggressively. That sentiment you can see again on the futures right there. NQ dropping almost over a couple hundred points there, and then the ES making a move over 40 points right there. 80s back down to 30s right there. So. And then we retrace all of that, but it seems like that selling has shown up once. I thought that this might be a lower high to kind of maybe we chop in the range. It is a Friday. Next week is FOMC. We've had, again, in anticipation, potentially we may not do too much. But again, we are back up at these levels, and maybe I am looking to take another shot at this one. I have no idea, but we will wait and see. Last print on GME here is 1241, so we are waiting for 1247 right here. Sorry, 1246.43, almost 1247. But right now we are at 1244 with the time, so still a couple more minutes till it opens up right there. On GME. AMC, are you still taking anything on AMC? Are you thinking about anything on AMC there, Sharif? Because I know that AMC is starting to kind of trickle down. We talk about that $5 level, which is definitely an interesting level when it comes to stocks overall. But we did kind of slam right back down into that $5 mark. Pre-market lows, though, have still not been violated, as the day low, including pre-market action, is at 496. So let's see what AMC is going to be doing right there. But yeah, do you have any plans on what to do? Yeah.
He is basically advocating for a 3-year turnaround for the company, saying that, you know, his timeline horizon for the revamping is 3 years. He's also saying because the legacy company hasn't announced anything novel, it doesn't mean that they won't. And so basically saying, you know, silence here isn't, you know, tantamount to no plan. So, you know, that's obviously his perspective, and I don't happen to agree with the fundamental picture that he has. In fact, I don't even think that there's going to be a reason to download games anymore. From what I'm reading lately, it's gonna the new technology for gaming is going to be streaming games, and I really mean that. So, like, if you have a PS5 and you go in and you want to play Call it whatever games that I don't game, right? Whatever game you want to play on that system, now you either have to buy the DVD or download the game. You're not going to need to do either of those. It's going to be a streaming game live, and so I don't know what this company does. I don't really care, to be honest with you, because this is a technical trade. It's an intraday trade. I'm not investing in the fundamentals of the company, nor do I have an interest to learn anything about the fundamentals of the company, so I'm not dismissing it outright either. In any event, I know for a fact that it's stopped at 31. I don't want to take any longs right now on GME unless I see a technical level. The level I'm very interested in, though, is this $5 level on AMC. And if I said AMC for the other one, I didn't mean to. I meant GME. Now I'm talking about AMC. I'm looking for $5 here on AMC. It's at 511. That is technically the low of the day. I'm definitely interested at 5. Here we go. 505 now on AMC. Oh, and GME is unhalted. And here it is. It's low. It's going to halt again. It looks like it's caught in a halt parameter at 29.44s. Huge size at 45s. And it's halted again to the downside. 29.45 halt on GME, halted to the downside. Again, let's go back to AMC because I want to see this $5 area. Very interested here at 5. Good, decent size on 5 here on the book, but here comes 502, 501's incoming as well. I just don't want to stand in front of a freight train. It's going to have to prove its support at 5. Otherwise, I want no smoke from this name here. It's getting a good amount of support. 502 low. We're printing 505s. We still haven't gotten anything on the curl back up. It's got to show me something here for that level. 2,000 shares sitting at 502 for whatever reason. So oh, wow, you could see that. You could see the sellers following it down, and you saw that at 502, and there goes 5. That's why I didn't want to sit at 5. No, show it. This is why I didn't want to sit at 5 for that exact reason. Now let's watch what it does. Does it wick down below 5 and retrace right above? just a specialist breakdown, so to speak, is what they call. Decent size at 5 right here as we come back up to test that whole dollar level. Here we are again at 5, and no. So the sellers overwhelming buyers at this level. I have shorts on AMC. Neil was nice enough to get them for me. And, you know, we can use them if the setup is right. But right now, wow, nice tug of war between buyers and sellers. Back up above 5 we go. Is this going to be a quick wick? Thank you, ma'am, and up we go, or what the situation is. So let's keep watching here as we're back above 5 while GME halted at 29.45. We're watching its sister meme stock, AMC, and AMC, let me tell you, has done a plethora of shares on the day. 120 million shares on AMC. I know Rory and Kitty ain't talking about AMC right now, but the market definitely is talking about it because it's bouncing off said levels, and it is bouncing off 5, and there goes 511. So what's the situation, Sharif? Why aren't you into it? So I'm going to look to get in on a dip trade here to defend 5 to get a better cost basis. I think we're a little bit past 5 right now. I don't want to chase it to see exactly what we get. What's your look over there?
He's saying, he's looking at the stock. He's like, I think it's halted. It definitely is halted, Kitty. And yeah, no, he's going he's going to show his portfolio. But he doesn't want to do it while it's halted. So
okay.
Last printed price was 1248.43. Right now it's 1249, so it's just freshly halted. We've got to wait 5 more minutes for this to open up, and then maybe potentially he's going to be showing us some of his portfolio, his positions as well on the ticker. So I did get a little short into that 30 breakdown because we did break some of those prior day lows going into that 31. Bit of a chase for me getting it so close to 30, but we did kind of break past this multiple halt downs, this 32 as well. The bounce into VWAP kind of failed, but let's see what it does. I do want to stay as nimble as possible on this one. We are tapping 29.45, but yeah, he wants to show his portfolio after it's open. So he's still talking as of right now about I think he was talking about, like, before this he was just talking about like disclaimers. He's like, no, the way he trades is very aggressive. You should not be following anything. None of this is financial advice. You know, same kind of spiel that a lot of people kind of give on that stuff. So. Yeah, definitely. It's a different like he's a different trader. The idea is different. You should never be copy trading. But yeah, you got to find your own trades and find your own edge, find your own style, and trade kind of that way over time there. So I got stopped out of that spider once again. What's going on?
I want to remind everyone to get into the chat right now and vote for your favorite ticker. And it's decided by you guys. I see Neil, I see Sean. I know for a fact they're looking at GameStop. I know for a fact they're looking at these memes. So if you want to see what they have to say about GME, if you want to know what they have to say about AMC and any other ticker of your choice, get into the chat right now. Hit that exclamation point, the word join, then hit that space bar in the middle of your keyboard with the $ after that, and enter the ticker of your choice. You have 1 more hour to vote, guys. Cutoff time is 1:50. Is it frozen, Ram? Oh, there we go. Thanks. Cutoff time is 1:50. Get into the chat. Enter exclamation point join space $ your GME, AMC, whatever it is that you guys want the big kahunas to talk about. Get going and vote for that now. Otherwise, they may not cover it. Now, chances are they probably will because there's going to be a lot of you guys looking for that name. So let's see exactly what we get here, Ram, because we're back at 5:15. All right, GameStop is open, but I'm looking at AMC. You want to cover GameStop?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so it's halting up right now. I'm trying to. Okay, so I got to get out of this. Okay, all right.
Want me to cover?
No, I got out of that one. Okay. Thankfully, going into the up halt as of right now, halted up. So that's good. I got in, it halted down, instantly opens up, halted up. So don't necessarily want to be involved in that if it's going to do that off of that 30 mark. Got out off of that one there. So yeah, we shall see what happens here. Did I actually? Let's see. I gotta check my gotta check my order log there because it happened so quickly. But yeah, he's talking about it is unhalted. Okay, yeah. So I guess I switched long for a quick second and then sold that as well. So okay, cool. We did pretty much get out of that one. On that, yeah. People were saying happy birthday to him. Yeah. So
No way.
I don't know if it's his birthday as of right now.
Is
okay,
it
so
actually?
he said it's his birthday. So it's halted again. He says. Yeah. So he's like he's gonna show it, but when it's open.
This guy is such a troll, bro. I love it. He doesn't take himself very seriously, which I kind of like as an individual. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of people really relying on him here. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this whole thing. And part of me likes it. Part of me says, you know, anyway, we'll see what we get at the end of the day. I should probably keep my opinions to myself. I'm keeping my eyes here glued on AMC. I'm having lamented not punching in at 5. It's cleared 5 by some distance, but I'm seeing a little bit of resistance here, and I do have these shorts that I want to use. So I'm not really entirely sure of how to get in on this. Yeah, this is kind of just tough trading here. Not something that I'm used to. Yeah, okay, so we're halted at 30.92 to the upside on GameStop. Not that that really has any reflection on AMC. I'm trying to trade AMC technically, but yeah, interesting look. Let's flip back to some of these large caps, see what the regular market is up to. And yeah, we're at days high in a lot of these names, guys. Amazon just printed another days high. Meta's at days high. The soft one just moved up as well into 420, into high 425s. Apple's off day, like very close data. Say again? NVIDIA is at 1210 again. It's inching into 1210, 1209 HOD. The closing print again on NVIDIA, to remind you guys, is essentially that 1210 area from yesterday. So it's right back into those highs after defending the 10 period on the 5 over here. You'll be able to see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So yeah, the general market is doing this. It's not just about AMC and GameStop, but we understand that you guys are obviously very excited about these names, and we're here to cover some of them for you, obviously. So that is the look. So a bit of a doji candle came in on the 5-minute chart there at 1250 on AMC. So candle of indecision. And yeah, it's tough decision. I think I am going to go long here. I'm going long on AMC. I'm looking for a curl back up, possibly into the volume weighted average price, maybe at 50.50 if I'm lucky. We're longs at 15. Obviously, a break of 5 ends this trade, so we're risking 15 pennies here, Obi.
Yes, sir. So, okay, so I want to stop fighting the trend there as the market is pushing for high a day. You know, that Apple is breaking out, Softy is breaking out, Amazon is breaking out, and there goes NVIDIA as well, high a day as well. So I did flip long on the spider, tried a couple of shorts there, not really holding above VWAP. The trend is to the upside, so I don't want to kind of continue making that same trade when it's showing me that it's clearly getting bought up and it's pushing for that high a day right here at that 536. We talked about that pre-market price right there as well, both on the futures as well. So 53.80 is that reaction high, that reference high from the jobs number this morning. So let's see what we do with that in and around there. Long the SPY right now as Softy attempts to push high as well. So yeah, a lot of the large caps, but Goggles, the Goggles is still kind of ranging sideways. That's definitely interesting. I think that maybe if that can get a little bit of a push, we can get some more oomph to the upside there. There goes the NQ. Are we going to break high on NQ and ES? We have yet to find out there, Sharif, as Apple is almost there. Softy is almost there. Softy high a day. I guess the pre-market highs as well. Let's count those. 426.47. We're trading at 426.10s right now on that. And yeah, Spider's high of the day is 536.39, and we're just trading at 536.30. 32s on the ask right now. Let's see if some of that strength comes in, we break through those highs, or do we pull right back into VWAP? I have no idea. But GME is going to be opening soon enough. As of right now, it should be opening in a few seconds right here. 3, 2, 1. Is it going to open? There it is. Open higher 32s. I'm glad I got out of that short at 30 as it opens up almost 2 points higher on that one. Okay, so he's saying it's open. It's unhalted. Buddy, it's going to stay halting if, yeah, he's like, I'm going to do it. All right. So
You
let's
tell
see.
him, Ob.
Yeah, well, he's obviously not listening
I
to
know.
the stream, but yeah, no, he's got
know.
a bunch of windows open. There's his E-Trade account as of right now.
Oh, he's gonna get suspended now.
All right, so there it is. I gotta look at that one. The quality on my phone is absolutely garbage right now. I gotta pull it up to 720p right here. Okay, so let's see. He's about 54 mil with a 50% gain on his on the shares. On the call is about 92 mil.
Wow.
With 135% up on the trade right there on his position. So for a total of 146 on the day, 84% up. But he's down.
But what?
His day's gain is negative 235.
Okay.
On the day. So he's like, but he's fluctuating over the past couple of days, I guess, with the volatility that GME has had. But he's holding some shares. He's holding 5 million shares and 120 calls at that. I think it was what was his strike price on those calls? Let's see. The price is at 13 right now. But yeah, he's. I think it was $20 strikes that he's in. But look at that. It is halting back down on GME. So we went to 34s and then comes right back in. What is happening right here? He's okay. So he's showing like the code of the website just to kind of, I guess, to prove that it's real or something.
Oh, yeah.
But we are halted back down.
Okay.
So absolutely crazy.
That's nuts, yeah.
We just keep halting up and down, and I keep kind of getting clipped both ways on this one, so I'm going to wait for it to kind of settle down. No need to kind of punch in irrationally on that one. But yeah, taking a look at this chart, we talk about this area right here. We are kind of chopping underneath both of those anchors and below prior day lows as well. Again, yesterday being quite a significant volume day. We talk about that, what was it, 206 million volume as of yesterday. Right now, it is doing 195. 195.
Wow.
So 29 million in cash.
He's got 29 milli in cash. All right, I'm AMC $5 defend here. It's the size getting eaten through on AMC. I should really flatten out here. Oh wow. So I have my stop 1 or 2 pennies below here. If we keep going here on AMC, I added at 503. I took most of it out at 520. Let's see if we get stopped out here. We're really close to getting stopped out on AMC as it did break 5 decidedly, and there it is. Now we get stopped out for the remaining amount. That sucks. I really wanted a 5 defend, but I still like this level. I know that it's going to be a little bamboozling, a little bit above, a little bit below. If we get above 5 and defend 5 again, I know that level was important in the pre, it was important yesterday. It's giving way now, as you can see. But yeah, we'll continue to watch said level on AMC. What else we got over here? Holy cow. All right. I'm running out of energy. I know I keep talking a lot.
It's been quite a wild day there, Sharif. So I do not blame you. The market's kind of pulling back off of that level as of right now. So yeah, let's see what we got in store for us here with the markets pushing up near highs, but it's still well within the trend here on the day. So let's be a little patient to see whether or not that this trade kind of comes in there. Along on the SPY, I do got to give it a little bit more room, I think, just to be fair. So let me just throw in that stop on the spider here. Okay. Oh, that is not the price that I want. But yeah, no, still halted down. Last print is 12.59 here on the spider. So, or not on the spider. 12.59.27 on GME. I'm getting confused now, Sharif. Definitely, this is with a crazy volatile day like this. Definitely slightly a little exhausting.
Oh, no question.
For sure. But again, we're in it for the grind. We're here. We are. I guess I know you don't. You said you don't game, but I'm definitely a gamer there.
No.
Spending hours in front of the screen at times, grinding out the games. But yeah, I haven't done that in a while because I'm just like, yeah, I'm spending a lot of time in front of the screen trading as well. Again, a little bit more ranked gaming, if you want to call it.
If you game the way that you chart, Then you must be a hell of a gamer, bro, because this dude, look, I mean, there's some traders that come in the morning, but this guy's consistent every day and coming at 7:30. I have to come early because we're on the show, obviously, but that's kind of my job. This guy is doing it, on his own accord. And not only that, I don't stay till 4 o'clock every day to find out when everybody leaves. But according to the Katina man, he's one of the last people to leave every day. And I'm assuming you're doing a lot of charting because you're not here filing your nails. You know what I mean?
I chart some, like I do a lot of charting like on the weekends, I guess. But like I'm like journaling, kind of reviewing the trades for the day. Kind of looking at my entries and exits, just reflecting on the day, writing the journals and stuff like that at the end of the day there. So that's kind of that is what I do. Taking screenshots as well, of course. That takes a little bit. Are you
still recording the tape, or is that over? I remember you were buying hard drives on hard drives on hard drives.
Well, I bought a couple of hard drives, yes. No, I guess I haven't been recording tape as much because I find that again, it kind of slows down my PC a little bit, especially with the tape. That it's been moving that fast. Sometimes like with this tape right here, I definitely need like 120 hertz. 120 hertz
refresh rate
to effectively see this tape, because 60 is definitely not enough for how fast and aggressive some of this tape goes. But yeah, no, I've been clipping some tape, but I don't watch as much as I used to. I remember talking about this. I used to go home. I used to record the whole day and then go home and watch the whole day back.
Oh yeah, wow.
And that would definitely take a few hours. Again, like eating dinner. It's open right now, trading at 30s.
Yeah, there it is
on GME. So again, I'm gonna stay a little bit more patient here and practice some more patience as GME. Maybe I'm gonna wait for it to settle down, but it is kind of bidding a little bit lower there, and I kind of wanted that short below 30. But let's see. I'll wait for it to calm down before I kind of exercise more trades on that one. But again, it rejected VWAP. What's going on?
A couple of super chats that we missed today. I'm so sorry, guys, but as you can see, we got our hands full. Big Kyle Burdett, $2 super chat. Dixie DXY, new high of day and pushing. Two-year yield pamping as well. Yeah, not really surprised about that, Big Kyle. We kind of got that on the back of the jobs number today. Obviously, the dollar popped up. The yields popped up as well. Keep your eye on the 2, the 5, and the 30. Sorry, the 2, the 10, and the 30, excuse me. And they both were up well over 2% today, some 3%, some a little bit higher there. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm involved in this AMC long. I'm looking for a 5 defend, but now looks like...
He just goes, it's going down more. I see technical analysis. That's so funny.
Well, what do you mean? The technical analysis is pointing down.
Breaking down.
Why is he making fun of technical analysis? It's lower highs and lower lows.
Yeah.
I mean, the trend is intact. Anyway, I'm looking to defend 5, but I think 5 right now is a bit of a resistance level on AMC. My stop's already in place. I've given it a wide spread in case the bottom really does drop off. AMC, here we go. We're getting prints above 5 now. Could we trend up a little bit? I'm waiting at 510 to wet my beak. We're long 498s. Let's see if this 5 level is what I think it is, which is a good level of support. It's been that way for multiple days. Doesn't have to stay that way though, guys. Support levels give ways, and that's how you get newer lows. So we'll continue to watch this. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of selling at 5. This might be a temporary or not a temporary, but a short-lived trade here. Guys, I want to remind you that you only have like 40 minutes, even less than that, to get your vote in every day. Get in the chat right now. Hit that exclamation point, join, space, followed by the $ and the ticker of your choice. Have a look and see how the big kahunas traded GameStop, how they traded AMC. I don't know if they traded AMC or not, but yeah, have a look there. Make sure you're voting every day right now. It is, again, the short version of it. If you want to have a look at NVIDIA, Apple, whatever, we have WWDC coming out on Monday. Widely anticipated, that we'll have some volatility in Apple ahead of that event. That includes today and Monday morning, of course. It is slated to take place in California. So because of that, it's Pacific time, so it starts a little bit later. I don't know if it's going to be on the midday or what exactly is going to happen, but Apple also in play. So yeah, have your say every day. Go in and get that vote in now, Ob.
Yeah, we definitely want to know what you guys are interested in. Matthew Booth saying, join OBI. I don't know if there's a ticker with that's OBI. Let's take a quick look. Is there a ticker? Oh, okay. What is this? O1. It trades on the LSE. Ondyne Biomedical Inc. Okay, very illiquid.
You're punching
I
on?
would say, well, I don't know about that, but it does an average volume of 430. Here, let me pull it up right here. So this is Obi right here. This is Obi talking about Obi right now.
Obi talking about Obi.
Average volume 430K, but yeah, it does not trade in on the U.S. markets there. What market is this? So yeah, in the London Stock Exchange, right? So. Trades on the LSE, so yeah, not that interesting. But I don't know if we're going to cover tickers in other markets right now. But no, definitely NYSE, the NASDAQ, and even OTCs, right? OTCs, and maybe some ETFs as well. So Amex. As well, but yeah, nice little trend here. Take a look at this trend on Apple, Sharif.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Talking about technical analysis.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
We can definitely draw some lines on this chart over here. Apple straight to the upside. No bites taken out of this one today from the short side, as it is a strong trend up to maybe all time. Sean, we were talking about what can get to 200 first. Seems like. You are winning this bet as of right now. We're only about 4 points away. What is the ATR of Apple? I should know this off the top of my head, but I think it's around 4 to 5 points if I remember correctly. Last time I checked. Let's take a quick look. The ATR on Apple. Okay, so it's 2.91, and off of the open right here,
about right.
We have done almost an ATR 2.36. So quite a strong trend. Put a line on the chart. Call it technical analysis. And yeah, so 196.90 are the highs as of right now from Wednesday of this week. So we know the all-time highs is in and around that. What do you call that? 199, I think. 199. Let's take a quick look on the weekly right here. So yeah, 199.90, 62 is the all-time highs as of right now. So yeah, look, some more lines happening here on the Apple chart. We are stepping up off of this prior kind of consolidation, whatever you want to call it. This is a weekly chart here. And then stepping up on that one, 168's holding, pushing for that 200. But yeah, a nice little range here. So yeah, of course, when this range breaks, the probability of that 200 coming in, I think, is pretty decent, as the highs are 199.60, only about 40 pennies off of that level there. But yeah, what is this guy up to? I think. Is he going to exit stage on this one, or I don't know? I think he was maybe mumbling about end the stream. Yeah, he's talking about ending the stream now.
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna stop that.
So as it's halting down, and he's laughing about something right now. He's like, yeah, he doesn't. He's like, oh, don't want to halt it down, but yeah, okay, there it is. Halt it down. He's like, okay, now we're restarting it. He might be a little. Undecisive. He's like, let's restart the stream. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay, so I can't wait for the next stream.
Let me just take over for a sec because Ram has to kind of do her thing for a little bit. All right, guys, we just popped up on AMC right into 508. I didn't get printed. I was sitting at 510s. I was looking to de-risk a little bit. Right back down to 495 we go. Below 5 again, but we're just a smidge below 5. It's a trade that I have on right now. I'm also looking at another trade, and it goes by the name of Meta. We did a 20-period retracement on this name, and it's been strong on the day, so I am interested in going long on Meta here at this level, 497.75s, give or take. Let's see if we can get something in and around here. I'll have to give this one a little bit of room. We're long Meta at this level. I'm going to be looking for a 498 break. That's where I'm going to sit on the other side of 498. We'll sit in and around there. My line in the sand is going to be that 495.70 or 50, excuse me, 497.50, 497. We'll get like that. 497, and then we'll go like that. So now we're up. Knocking on the door of 498 over here, so we'll see if we can get that decided break. I'm on the other side of 498, so if we can get that push up. But yeah, so this one, the reason I got into this one, 20-period retracement after basically hanging on to the 10 all morning long, so looking for a little bit of weakness to come in. And that weakness usually sometimes manifests at the 20. We're printing above the 20, even though we wicked a little bit below it. The point of this trade here is to try to catch this one on the way up, if it is to make its way up. Yeah, so I did get stopped out, sadly, of AMC. Very sad about that. I could have gotten out a nice little profit there. I insisted on 10s, and then Huadunk went the dynamite. That's my bad. That's really on me there. Should have been wetting my beak on something that was as volatile as that. That's on me. So we'll continue to watch and deal with this meta trade, looking to wet my beak on the other side of 98s at 98.10s. Right now, it's showing me a mid-90 prints, but we'll see if this one can head back up. That'll be
Somebody asked him, so he just chugged his drink. He's about to end the stream. Somebody asked him, what's your drinking strategy? He's like, what's that? That's pretty funny. Yeah, okay, so the roaring kitty is about to go take his nap right now and ending the stream. Okay. So that was pretty interesting. We chopped around a little bit there.
Oh, did we ever?
Some halt ups, halt downs. We did break day low, and it is halted right now at 27.65. He's saying, have a good weekend. Yes, sir. You have a good weekend as well. Take it easy.
Bye.
Adios to you as well. Oh, he's still there. But that chugging of the beer was nice. All right, peace. He is done, and those are the closing music right there. Let's see, we got more of the cat videos happening right now. I love that. It's absolutely awesome. So he did kind of drop that. So let's kind of go over what happened during his stream, right?
Yes,
so
go for it.
He came in with the arm broken, kind of the sounds
looking
of the
high.
chat, the sounds of the chat. You know, he said really woke him back up, brought him back alive. You know, so that was pretty funny there, and talked about, you know, he had some disclaimers. He talked about you shouldn't be following him. His trading style is very aggressive. He takes hard swings, and again, your trade style and account may be slightly different than what he's trying to do. So definitely a good disclaimer on that. He talked a little bit about how Ryan Cohen has plans, and he kind of likes the guy, trusts the guy on some things, taking the company forward, and he also was like, yeah, GameStop is obviously kind of being strategic with looking forward and maybe trying to make something out of this whole situation going forward and trying to stay alive, trying to keep the game going on that one. So it was definitely interesting. His arm is not broken. That was definitely good. Arm halted up and then halted down. I don't know if that was on the news of his arm being broken and then not being broken. But
Did it actually? You're kidding.
No, it was
arm halted.
Yeah, it halted initially, right up into that 5, and then it came back in, and then I think it halted down as well.
Oh, I thought you meant arm, the stock arm.
Yes, no, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did, but I'm not.
Really?
Okay, yeah, you can correct me on that one. But his arm is fine, is what I'm trying to say. The arm is fine. Arm is still well within its consolidation range off of the open right here. We can see. On that one, so I think was this maybe the whole. No, that's sorry, not ARM. What am I saying? AMC.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
I was like, really?
I
arm
apologize for that. Not ARM. I'm thinking about his arm. And
yeah,
about
it's all
AMC.
good.
Yeah, never mind. AMC halted on that.
GameStop is halting up, guys. Apparently, according to Katiman, 28.56. I was about to say ARM. GME about to halt. But guys, I mean, like, the fact of the matter is, you want to talk technical analysis, this is one hell of a downtrend. Multiple respects at either the 10, 20, or 50. Take your pick. The deep retracements over here, you can see at that 37 to 39 area, all bounced and rejected off the 50, I should say, not bounced, and down, making lower lows, lower highs. There could have been, you know, some price action support at that 32.5. We were talking about that with this hammer candle. It didn't matter in the end. It just kept heading lower and lower and lower, and that's looking like where it's going to go. So unless something's going to change, or you're going to scalp this in a way that I don't know how, This is a downtrend, so let's see if we get on it. Right now, though, I'm personally involved in Meta. We're printing 498s here on the ask. I'm sitting at 98.10s waiting to get printed. It's up 0.87%, but it's really having trouble with this 498 level. There's definitely a seller there. Hidden on iceberg, you can see 1, 1, 1, and 1, and it's preventing the print above 498. So I'm pretty convinced there is a seller there locally at that 98. So we'll see if we can print anything above that, and right back down we go again. So trying to pack my patience here for a 20-period retracement on META. That was the precipice for this trade. It's going to have to hold up above the $0.50. Otherwise, I want none of the smoke. But yeah, we'll see what we get there. Printing 98s again and not printing above it again. Definitely an iceberg in and around there. Let's have a look at some other ones. NVDL I've got uploaded on trading screen. I'm pretty sure I do. Do I? No, I took it off because of AMC, and we'll take off Apple, and we'll load up NVDL, because NVDA just printed HOD 1216.92, essentially 1217. It's above pivots. It's at the high day as we speak. That takes us up into above 69er on NVDL. That's also up 0.84, trading at $69 and change. We'll see if we can get some sort of retracement into 1210 on NVIDIA. That was an interesting level there that it topped out at 1210 and then continued to move up. All right, let's go into Meta, and there we go, baby. We get the print on Meta. Nice 25-penny winner there. We're long 84s, got the prints at 10s, so happy with that. Let's see if we can get a bit higher on the Zuck train, baby, because high a day on this monster is 498.91. So that's well above where we got in. Here we go. We just printed 25, so happy about that. We're printing 30s now, 37s. Okay, on the ask, pleased with this. Let's see if we can get a dollar banger out of this. We'll take that out at near the high of day. If we hit that 498 mid-80s area, that would just be, I would be pleased as punch. For that. Shout out to Dara on her vacation, but we'll pack our patience here with META.
Yeah, I'm still kind of, I gotta lay out watching all the chips here. I'm watching NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, SMCI, ARM as well, TSM. I got SMH and SOXL on watch as well. So yeah, a lot of strength in the chip sector as of right now. And again, constituents also very, very strong. Apple to the high side, Spider pushing for those highs. Let's see if that comes into fruition right there. Still in this lift trade as it's starting to kind of trend up, but again, that's just that has nothing. That's not as significant as like the overall trend that we've been having from the day highs right there. So we are still underneath VWAP, and this high right here stopped right underneath this wick low. So prior consolidation low potentially there on lift. So let's see what we do in and around here. Can we get back to VWAP? I have no idea, but I will trail this one a little bit there as it kind of works there. Why is Mara flushing? Asking Julia C. So let's take a quick look at Mara. I know we haven't really taken a look at too many stocks that you guys have been mentioning, of course, other than GME, AMC, and a couple other ones, but here we go. Yeah, Mara coming back into that 20 mark, right below that 20. It's trading at 1993 right there. Let's go up to a higher time frame and kind of check this out on the hourly here. So that's what I want to do right here on the hourly. I get some more lines, technical analysis right there, some support and resistance, potentially a bigger picture range on the chart, but we are well within the middle of that range, so I'm not going to take those off right now. But yeah, a little bit of a downtrend here. We know we made some highs here at 34s in and around February, March. Again, we know that Bitcoin was moving crazy earlier this year as well. But as of right now, as over the past couple of weeks or so, we've been incrementally making lower highs and lower lows here on Mara. But bit of a range here, like high 21s to just below 20 in the 19s on Mara. But yeah, we are selling off quite trendily here. On the day, 21.44 being the high, we make a lower high, we break that low a day, We come back in, can't really make a range on the day, break that low as well. Prior day lows are being broken, but just looking left over the past couple of days, let's see where the bid has kind of shown up over and over again, maybe in and around this 1950 level here. We saw that we saw that on Tuesday. That was day low, and we bid up from there. We saw that on Wednesday as well. That was in and around day lows, and we bid up from there. So maybe that's where we're headed to. It seems that there may be some demand in and around that 1950 over the earlier on this week. Let's see if and when it comes down into that, if those buyers will sustain that pressure there, or maybe they're done. Who knows? But buying pressure on the market for sure on the day after that jobs number kind of gives us a nice strong quadunk right underneath, breaking below that 19, but then we eventually hold that 19 and we are steadily trending up to the upside right there.
Obi, we have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
From our friend Elon. He's not actually Elon Musk, but one of the very active participants in the chat. Says, hi, Sharif, are you trading live today? Yes, I am, Elon. ORCL still up every day into earnings next Tuesday. How do we tag Obi? Happy trading.
Oracle.
Yeah, I just want to, so I'm done my meta trade here. Very happy with this trade. We just got printed there at 55s. Whoop. We went long 84s. It was a 20-period retracement on the 5. It had been very strong all day, trending up and to the right. And basically, the majority of the time, it had absolutely had that magnetic effect, as the one that Knob always says. And what I've noticed lately is the deeper retracements on an obviously trending stock come into the 20 on the 5, precipitated me to get in, even though I didn't have the best entry. And now we got a nice winner on it. I'm very happy about that. The Mag 7 are all very strong. Apple, high a day. Softy just printed high a day. Very close to high a day on the NVDA. We are printing high a day on the NQs. Goggles is asleep. Meta, obviously, we just traded that very close to high a day as well. Like the same thing with the Zon, up into that 186 and a third. We're printing 186s. The Mag 7 names, for the exception of Goggles and Tesla, all very strong right now. Even Softies at high day, and that was kind of like, it was like a, what is it called, Bram, a music wave? Sound wave. I should know that better. Yeah, so they want to know about Oracle.
Oracle, okay, yeah. The market is ripping to the highs there. SPY fresh highs as well. Yeah, lift kind of coming back in, so I got to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, let's take a quick look at Oracle. Oracle's that's a name I haven't heard in a while there. So let's take a quick gander at this one on the hourly higher time frame. Okay, so that's a strong earnings that we had in March. Earnings is actually coming up on June 11th, so I guess next week. Yeah, earnings is next week on this ticker here. Yep. On sometimes I get lost in the sauce. On Tuesday. Today's the 7th. All right, I was like, what's the date today? So yeah, on Tuesday, happening earnings on Oracle. You can see, yeah, very strong trend to the upside. Is this been, let's take a quick look on the daily as well. How's the volume looking? Steady volume. So pushing up on steady daily volume. That's interesting as well. And a lot of gapping that happens off of earnings, it would seem, on this chart. That's absolutely wild. So yeah, this is definitely a gapper on earnings, as, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much every earnings I can see going all the way back to 23s here at the end of 23 in June. So a lot of gaps, a lot of hard gaps on this one. So let's see what we're poised to kind of do here on Oracle. But yeah, a strong trend on the daily. What is it doing on the intraday? Continuing that trend, looking left here. We are, okay, so there was some strong selling here, 126s. So we're going to be pushing into that if we go another point there on the Oracle. But yeah, no, this is not really on my radar. I don't think it's doing, is it doing RVOL today? I guess it's a little bit above 1. It was doing RVOL in the pre-market. But yeah, that was a really strong earnings last time around there, going from 114 all the way up to, I guess, pre-market highs there. We can count out 134s, but consolidation flush right off of the open. We can't really sustain those levels, and then kind of in a bit of a downtrend there on the bigger picture. But multi-day run, let's see what we have in store. Tuesday's earnings should be interesting. Now, I don't know too much about like in terms of fundamentals or the news that they've been having, but we can take a quick check and a look-see for the news here. So I think, you know what, I'm just going to go to this right here. So yeah, let's see if they've had any significant news that kind of started this. There was some relative volume here on the 28th of May, but sold off of those levels. But yeah, I don't really see anything too crazy. Maybe it is a run-up into earnings. Maybe people are anticipating certain things. I don't really speculate on those things. But the chart is showing an uptrend. Yes, that is for sure over the past a couple of weeks or so. It seems like it broke out of this shorter-term downtrend and then started pushing up quite nicely right there. So I do have an anchor that popped up. I think that, I guess it's from prior earnings, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, prior earnings anchored, and we are pushing right back up into that level. As of right now, we attempted to push and hold in what mid to end of May, couldn't really do it, and we're back at it at the end of the beginning of June right now. So that's I guess how I see Oracle. Again, not really not really any advice or any real, you know, I'm not a technical I'm not like a technical analyst or anything like that, but the chart is a chart. We're showing an uptrend over the past couple of days on sustained volume. What's going on
NVIDIA
there?
just flushed $6. It's at more, $8 now. Okay, nice move down for the monster. 1216.92 HOD comes all the way back down into 1208 and change. This is that 1210 level that we kept talking about. That was yesterday's closing print. We didn't reach it first time around, rejected, came back into the 10, then took it on second time around. Now that we've cleared it by $6, do we use it now as support? Can we look to, you know, for a balance to come off this level? I'm not going to just sit there on NVDL at the equivalent level and have a resting order. I need to see some proof that it's going to print a little bit higher, and if that means missing a better entry, then so be it. I need to see it on the back end, as Neil likes to say, to curl up and show me a couple of green candles. But yeah, big move down. Well, big relatively speaking. I mean, $6 name on a $1,200, $6 move on a $1,200 name, right? So it's above 1210 right now, bit of a bottoming tail candle, showing you that there is a bit of tug of war between buyers and sellers at that 1210 closing print from yesterday. So we'll have to see if that level gives way or not. I won't be trading NVDA, I promise you that. I'll be trading NVDL, and that's what we've got loaded up right here. And this is price action support. So previously resistance, you could make the argument that this 68.40 is the equivalent of 1210. I'm not saying it is, but it looks awfully like it on NVDL as it is on NVDA. So now, if that is the case, what kind of smoke are we looking for here? Are we looking for a move up, or are we looking for a move down into possibly 67.60? That's the bottom end of this range over here. So right now we're getting a whole bunch of buy prints above that 40-cent level on NVDL, and it's almost exactly equivalent with 1210 because we're at 1210 right now on NVDA. A bit of a lag, obviously, on NVDL, as you know, whoever has to, basically get this position to jive with NVDA. So I'm going to go long here. I'm done talking about it. I'm going long. Let's see if it fills me. It's going away. It's not filling me. So, yeah. Dang it. All right, we'll see if we can get filled on the way down. But, yeah, it's going here without me. So I didn't get the fill. Where am I sitting? I'm sitting at 59s, printing 66s. So it looks like it is defending that price action support, and it's going to go without me here, unless it comes back down to retest it. But yeah, NVDL up 1/4 point. NVDA not as much, only 0.2 for that name. So we'll watch. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go without me here. Oh, but it looks like I missed a trade.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you were trying to get along there.
Yeah, so this is,
on the dip.
to me, that's price action support, and I want to get in to defend that, and I didn't get it.
I mean, it might not be over. We talk about like the market being in such a strong trend. We did pull back significantly on that NVIDIA, and I immediately went over to the SPY trade I have on. Again, watching that, I do have my array of constituents kind of watching those as well. But yeah, no, Apple is well within trend. Amazon as well within trend. NVIDIA, yeah, it's fluctuating quite heavily, but again, still well within trend. Let me pull up the charts here. I do like that long look there, Sharif. Again, using that prior consolidation high to look for that resistance turn into support right? That's that. Again, I got to get better with my trend trading. I'm still kind of working. I got to work on that playbook. Haven't really been focused on that in terms of playbooking trades, but again, playbooking some other movements instead as of right now. Just try to get good at like one or two things first, and then build more on that playbook, right? So yeah, NVIDIA has strong trend to the upside, and things have been trending quite aggressively over the past few days. I think again, NVIDIA is going to be splitting 1 to 10 over this weekend, right? So that's not necessarily over this weekend, but on Monday we'll start trading in and around that 120 mark if we close around this 1200, as it is a 110 split starting right there. There you go. Monday 10th June 2024. 10-to-1 split. So what that basically means is that they will split the price of the stock and mediate that with kind of I guess issuing more shares. But like if you're holding 100 shares at 12, you're going to be holding 10 times the amount at 120. So it doesn't really affect your I guess position notional. It doesn't really affect your notional there. What's going on with you? Are you looking for that NVIDIA continuing?
I'm staying mad.
Because if you're staying mad. Yeah, no, that NVIDIA could continue to go. But I have no idea. We did kind of pull back a little bit. Alpha, you know what pulled back a little bit?
What?
Goggles.
Ooh.
So
Goggles is a hell of a range. Oh, but I don't know how you see this, but I see that as one
trade.
hell of a range.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely Dara would be all over this one.
Oh, yeah.
As look at this beautiful range, 76 to 77s right here all day.
All day.
No real trend on this one. It did a bit of a trend yesterday, but yeah, trending 177s to 176 and change. Absolutely beautiful. It hasn't really gotten out of that range. But yeah, if it maybe breaks that low of the range, we know that Google is a pretty strong constituent. If you include both Class A and Class B shares, the GOG and the GOG-L, right?
It's a monster. People forget that there's two.
There's two of them, and both of them composed is like 6-7%, if I remember correctly, of weighting in the constituents. But yeah, let's see what we got going on here.
Let me read some.
Very strong. Let me read
some out. Big Kyle loaded, big size on the SPY short again. Bring it on. Boom. Shout out to you, Big Kyle. Pinch bull. Hood also pulled back. Yeah, I was trading Hood today as well. Let's have a look at the hooded one. It did pull back. It was a decent trade, Ram. To start off the day, it had a big red to green move there in the pre. It tanked at 830, consolidated, then really got going there. But here we go, right back down again. Look for price action support at 2260. Look at that consolidation area top over here. I'd say look between 50 and 60. It's about a 10-penny range that we ranged there in the pre. There was obviously a buyer there. Low volume or not, bottoming tail candles are often indicative of aggressive buying. So keep your eye on that. I know we are at local lows on Hood, but I still like this 2260 to 2250 area for a possible price action support dip. Now, the other thing that I want to do is I want to load up Goggles, because Goggles looking awfully good right here.
Yeah, you're gonna look into that range there?
Oh yeah. I was looking at that before. I was hesitant to take it because the volume really hasn't been there on Goggles today. But you know, what do I got to risk here? 15 pennies, Obe, right? You know what I mean? Like
low day 176.20.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the move here, in my opinion. I'm long on Goggles. The break is going to be the out is going to be the $0.25. I'd like ideally a retracement initially for a beak wetter into 70s. That is the closing print from yesterday. And then I would ideally like an out at the whole dollar. If we can get something like that, then I'd be pleased as dang punch. So let's go ahead and hang out there and see what this one brings. Guys, this one is a really slow mover. And you can see that by how it's traded today. So, you know, I'm going to have to really pack my patience on this one. Let's go ahead and put the stop in now of 176, and we're going to put it at the $0.25. And yeah, we're going to get out everything. I'm going to give it, as I typically do, just a bit of room there to make sure that if the bottom drops off, I'm still able to get triggered, because I don't use market orders. I use wider limit orders, and that's kind of just like my own little move there. What else is going on there?
Dell is saying,
Okay, go ahead.
Bigfoot is saying Dell looks interesting, Ovi. So yeah, let's take a quick look at Dell here and see what that's up to. We know that I was trading it past couple of weeks. Going into earnings, we know that they had that event in, I think it was in Las Vegas, presenting a bunch of products, again, AI-related products, trending up since this kind of dividend, I guess, date here on the Monday 22nd. Kind of, we were sideways before that, strong trend up, and then during I think it was either during and post a little bit as well, the events, we trended up quite aggressively, 130s all the way to 185s there, Sharif. So yeah, in the pre-market,
Way is open.
Hit that level. What's going on?
Way is open.
Way is open.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
The IPO is now open, guys.
IPO is
yeah,
open.
You want to cover it?
2050. So let me pull it up on the tape here so we can take a closer look at way.nq. NQ is the one, so I'm going to pull it up here. Where is the ticker? If it'll show up. There it is. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 1 minute because, again, I like to use the 3 minute, but it just opened, so not a lot of data on the board right now. Not a lot of data on the board, so I'm going to go over to the 1 minute. There is a bit of a bid sitting at 2050s. Let me just enter that in again so this updates. I guess it doesn't want to update here. So I will pull it up on this one as well. Okay, cool. So right there, so you can see 100 lots right there on 2050. Let's see what it does around there. It's done about 6 million right off the bat. Let's see, patiently waiting to see any sort of significance right there. Let's see what we do with that size. Does it defend that level? Yeah, I think there was a couple hundred lots there initially. This book right here is duplicated. They're both the same. Okay, so that 50 holds, and then we pop right back up. So definitely some defense running on that one. Again, we talk about underwriters. The underwriters, quite some big boys on this one. JPM, Goldman Sachs, JPM, and Barclays are the underwriters for this one. Again, $1 billion IPO, almost a billion, so 900 million something. And yeah, holding that 2050 for now. That's where that size still is, about 150 lots. Maybe that was a refresher. Maybe that was maybe not spoofy man because his buddy stayed there and held the level. So let's see what we do off of this 2050 right now. It seems like a good place to maybe base an idea off of here on Way. So I will be watching this to get involved. Spider still chilling around where we got in initially. Might have been a bit of a chase taking it through the high day there. NQ and ES still well within trend. And Lyft going a little bit sideways as of right now, holding that prior day low. So let's see if we kind of continue back up maybe towards VWAP, or we break the low. Who knows? I'm just trying to exercise a little bit of an idea. So we snapped up to 21s. Oh boy, look at that. 20 halves hold so well. We snap up 50 pennies and we're holding once again. So might have missed that one right there. That was an aggressive bid there, Sharif. I thought that bid was gonna crack, and then instantly I blink and we're trading up in the 70s and the 80s on some of the next prints there. So that was pretty wild there. 21 half with 700 lots. I hope you guys can see that. Did that show up here? Okay, buddy kind of went away. But no, there is some size at 21 halves. Let's see if we can get up there. We did snap up all the way to 21 here on Way. Again, you know what? Here, I guess we can talk about how I look at IPOs, kind of looking at them before they come out. I'm still waiting on this one. Let's see what we do. Size at 2075 now, so I wonder if it's stepping up on this previous size that we saw before. So Way, I like to take a look at the S1. You know, you got to go to the source of their filing, right? So what did they file for? So this is them right here. Is this the one? Yeah, Waystar Holding Group. So let me pull that in. So Waystar Holding Group, this is the S1 form. You can find it on the SEC.gov website on the Edgar page. So Form S1, everybody has to file this before they kind of, for their IPO. And you can kind of go down, and usually on one of the first few pages, you will see who the underwriters are. So right here, you can see big and bold, JPM, Goldman Sachs & Co., LLC, Barclays. So they kind of talk about their mission statement and what they do, who they are, and a bunch of other information as well on the S1 filing. So that's something you definitely want to check out if you are attempting or getting ready for trading IPOs. Some good information on that one there. But yeah, I guess we were talking about Dell. Dell, to go back to that one, Dell kind of sold off of earnings there. Did have a run up into that event, but sold off earnings day one. Sorry, going into earnings, pretty much wiped all of that bid off of the earnings report, and we have been trading lower since. So yeah, it is definitely interesting. I forget who kind of mentioned it, but yeah, Dell was interesting a couple of weeks ago, and then off earnings, it seems like we are going on a little bit of a downside trend there. What's going on?
All right, we have 10 minutes left to vote for the afternoon rundown segment where you have your say every day. The big kahunas are going to be locked and loaded, ready to look at the names that you choose for them. So get voting right now. You've got exactly 8 minutes. This is exactly how you do it. I know there's been a lot of speculation about how to do it in the chat, so let me just do it for you guys here live. So we're going to go into Google Docs. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So it will load up here. Let's put there you go. So, oh, sorry, there it is. It's exclamation point, join, space, and the ticker, just like that. There's a space in between here, guys. I see you guys not putting in the space. It won't register unless you do. So get into the chat right now. Vote for the ticker you want. Is it GME? Is it AMC? What is it? Is it Tesla? Is it NVIDIA? What do you guys want talked about today? The big kahunas locked and loaded, ready to give you their take. So get onto that. All right, goggles, we're long here at 30s. It's printing 41s. Time to, no, I'm going to hold on to this trade. I want to see if it can make a move up. I like this trade. I want to see if it can continue to move up into a better range. The trade that I'm in trouble with, though, is this Meta short. I was super close to getting filled here at the $0.25. It's still below that. I thought it was breaking below the 20 on a closing basis. This is a lesson in context. Don't jump in unless you have confirmation. I'm still making these mistakes today after 4 years. And yep, I'm about to get stopped out because it's going to break 498. A little disappointed with myself on this trade. I could have definitely covered a little bit here to de-risk, but we'll see if it breaks above 498. 498 is already my out there. Let's go back into goggles. Definitely getting some resistance here at the $0.50. There was a consolidation area bottom at the $0.50, but that isn't the trade. The trade was this sound wave, right? We want to be able to get in, or we want to get in at the low to get in near the midpoint at least. That's what I'm gunning for. Anyway, maybe 176.90, the volume weighted average price, somewhere in there. I don't want to paper hand this trade. I think I have a sound level right here on Google at the low end. It's just going to be whether I get stopped at a Meta or not. And right now, you know, I'm seeing definitely some support at the third of a dollar, 4.97 and a third. There is 3 hammer-looking bottoming tail candles, essentially, that hold up at that level. And if that is the case, then, you know, I might be in some trouble here. These are the candles I'm talking about. There seems to be a bit of a buyer in and around here. Look how many times we dip into this level and there's somebody buying it. The only thing that really is helping me is we still haven't printed any higher highs, right? It's been a while. We've been putting in the rounded top, so to speak, and that's kind of really what I'm relying on this trade. But let's call a spade a spade. It is a counter trend trade. Meta was very strong to the high side. The fact that I'm smart enough to call the tops, maybe not a good idea here. So we'll see exactly what we get. Short Meta, long goggles. Let's see what this brings. I mean,
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. You know, I'm just so used to saying that.
No,
you know how it is, right?
No, nothing taken.
You did. Neil called Brendo a dare at one point. Said, I don't feel that bad, right?
I did get a little long on on the way the new IPO there. Size showed up at that 20.5. stepped up to 2070s, 75s, and then you can still see about 200 lots right there at the bottom of my screen, 200 lots sitting at that 2075. Let's see if we kind of hold and kind of continue up. That bid did step up about a quarter there on that pop. And again, that initial pop quite aggressive. We are holding VWAP right now. Now again, hasn't really printed too much information, but opening range high seems to be 2123s here. Let me pull it up just to make sure on this one, on this screen here. So Waystar Holding Group 2121 is the high on Waystar. Here we go. There is a 3-minute chart right there. Not going to have RVOL because there isn't 5 periods of information to really print those RVOL candles on that indicator. But again, go to the 1 minute, you can see that it is kind of holding some of these lows. 2050 was a low there. Let's see if we can break past some of this level right there. Bit of selling coming right back in. VWAP in and around. Let's see where that is. I got 2086 on this one, and maybe a little bit higher on the P Pro there. So in and around just below the 90s is the VWAP. Let's see if Buddy with size at that 75 sticks around or kind of gets taken out. Let's see what happens with that. But Spider holding its levels as, again, everything is still well within trend here, Sharif. We know NQ, ES, so a lot of the constituents, Softy still holding. Yeah, we are pushing all-time highs here on the Spider as well, right? So let's not forget that these markets are pushing all-time highs as of a few days ago. There it steps up. 2116s coming in. There's 1,000 lots at 21 halves right there. So 1,000 lots, 1,045 to be precise, going into that level right there. So let's see what we do in and around there. Just if we break that 2050. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to get maybe a little bit of a breakout of that one. Just cue this in right here, real quick. 21. Shout out to 21. I know Adara's always shouting out 21. I haven't really heard too much of his music, I think, but I would assume he's pretty good. I kind of fell off the scene when people started, oh, what was that wick just now? Up into 30s, okay. The whole mumble rap scene, I was just like, I don't know, what is this stuff? I might be a little...
Ram's gonna get upset.
Why? Why? She loves the mumble raps or what?
She loves all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different taste, I guess, but interesting music nonetheless. But yeah, here we go. Okay, so that size. Okay, so let me pull this up a little bit wider here. So I don't necessarily see the size at 21 halves anymore, but we just saw size at 23s. So are we going to grab some of that lick there at the 23s as this IPO again with the bid stepping up? Quite interesting stuff there happening right off of the open on this IPO. Again, we know who the underwriters are. Definitely some big boys, some strong banks underwriting this name on this IPO today. So with a strong market, we only got about 2 more hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes left until the close. Sharif, do you have any ideas for the end of the day? Any trades you're looking at? Anything setting up? I know you were talking about that goggle range trade. How is that going for you?
Oh, we're good. We're like 15 pennies in the money. Nothing to write home about. Oh, but it's really having a whole lot of trouble breaking and staying above that 50 penny level. And so I'm not really surprised because you see a consolidation area bottom over here. Even though it is on the 1 minute, it's still bound to give you trouble. So I could, take the profits here and walk away. Alas, that's kind of not the situation at the moment. So we're long goggles, and I'm also long Meta now. I flipped long on Meta because it was showing me umpteen amount of bottoming tail candles. So we'll look to wet our beak at the third of a dollar. If it does make it up there, 498 and a third, I want to see a 498 hold. There was so many bottoming tail candles. I just really did feel that the buyers were going to overwhelm sellers. And then you ended up seeing that 498 break and another candle to make that new high above that level. So I'm trying to pack my patience right here, Ram, with this level and get printed at the third of a dollar, but it's not coming quite yet. So there is now no time left to vote. The voting has now closed. You'll have to vote again on Monday if you want to get in on the afternoon rundown, where every day we basically tally up the votes. in the chat. The most voted for names are going to get mentions and get talked about at the big desk by Neil and Sean. They'll give you their levels. They'll tell you how they traded it, if they traded it, if they didn't, what levels they're looking at, and the like. So if you want to have the big kahunas look at your names, you're going to have your say every day in the chat. So make sure you are aware of that. And you're going to have to watch a midday, too, in order to be able to vote. So, you know.
Yeah.
Not bad for us there. Anyway,
hope you guys got those in.
Yeah, I really hope
I was watching a bunch on the chat as well. A lot of names coming in, of course. GME, I think I saw FFIE as well. You know, that one's been a bit of a runner over the past couple of weeks there with that meme craze there. But yeah. Pretty good there. I like the new session. I like it. It's more interactive, you know, with the audience, and definitely you guys get a chance to voice your opinions on what you want to see. So definitely always make sure you kind of participate in that. Bid kind of stepping up here, sitting at that 21 now. I think I saw like 200 odd lots at 2130s as well. But look, that 2150, a little bit of a decrement there. I don't know if we printed some of that. I gotta scroll back and see. Okay, yeah. So we did print. Okay, yeah. Damn. All right. So let me pull this tape in here with the filter. We printed some decent size. We clipped about half of that 1,000 lots right there, and we're kind of holding as of right now. So definitely part of it was taken out, not all of it, about half of it right there. So let's see if it kind of holds and pushes back in. We know that bid has also been stepping up, but this ask has held, and some of it actually decremented. And again, the market is strong as well. This is, I think. Technology services is what it is what they kind of the sector that they fall into here on Waystar Holdings. So let's see what we do with this kind of price action. There's Spider pushing up as well. Well, not really pushing up, but still holding within trend is what I want to say. But Apple, oh boy, has that been strong?
Boy.
Again, you pull up to like the 30-minute. We have just been trending up so cleanly on some of the higher time frames. So some of the higher time frame players definitely taking advantage of that. Hopefully, there we are kind of getting closer to this 2150. Let's see if we can take out the rest of these lots. Just shy of 600 lots sitting at that 2150 on this IPO. And again, I'm going to pull up the book a little bit more. Some more size sitting at 2350s. We saw some size at 23s as well earlier. Let's see if we can start taking some of this stuff out. Again, $1 billion IPO. Here it comes in. Let's see if we can kind of read some of this tape here and see how well or how far we go off of this 21.5 break if that size can get taken out. But I'm kind of waiting here for the Spider to make a move. Let's see if we can kind of push a little bit higher there. I'm getting some flashes on the tape. Memex printing, a lot of deep prints here. But yeah, holding above that 2130 size that we saw a little bit earlier, that I saw flash for a little bit. So let's see if that level kind of gets taken as well. But yeah, what are you guys trading? Are you guys trading this IPO, or were your eyes mainly on GME today? We know that GME, again, one of the main focuses on the day, definitely in play, but holding that downtrend off of the share offering, right? So they had 75 million shares to offer this morning, so that definitely did not get dealt with all right away, but it seems like we are in quite a strong downtrend overall on the day. Yeah, sure, we had some strong pushes to the upside, but we failed yesterday's highs pretty much on this clip right off of the open, 48s being the high of intraday right now, and then 67s were after hour highs, pre-market highs in around 64. So we've only been downtrending off of some of those prices. We've wiped yesterday's range there quite significantly, broken below, doing more volume than yesterday, about 20 million shares more than what we traded yesterday on GME. And now, of course, can't talk about GME without taking a look at AMC here. So let's take a quick look at AMC as well. So we had that little pop there when he posted his E-Trade account balance, or the trade that he was in, and we consolidated, popped up. But we are attempting to test some of these lows here of that consolidation, 464s on AMC. So this size is still not taken right now. The buildup is very, I guess, anticipatory here, as we're pretty much, the range is tightening, and we are making higher lows. Here we go, taking out 300 more 300 more, and the size kind of reloads. Is that a bit of a reload? Like I said before, my book here has some multiples here. I do have to fix that on this setup, on the show setup here. But again, that 300 is not 600. It is just one gate. The NSB and on this book is doubled. So okay, so we took out most of the size. Only 80 lots sitting there. Yeah, both of those are NASDAQ book. You can see the same number there, 94. So maybe some reloading size there. Maybe there is more to sell. Okay, yeah, size is reloaded, 100 lots again. So stepping up a little bit there. But they were initially 1,000 lots. You guys saw that on 2150. Let's see if we can kind of break this point here, as it is aggressively getting taken out now. But Buddy keeps on refreshing. We got a refresher on the ask right there, popping back up. Okay, 50 lots left. 50 lots left.
Come on.
Is there 100? Is there 100 going to come back in? There's the 100 coming back in. Oh boy, is this exciting stuff? Not as exciting as GME, of course. That tape was absolutely wild. When I say I want a screen with at least 120 hertz to watch that tape effectively, I don't even know. At that point, do you even watch the tape? I don't know. You got to have a lot of filters on to kind of filter out some of the more important stuff. Maybe that might be potentially happening, but.
All right, I just want to
towards the highs
because I got to take off, so I just want to mention my meta trade. We're what are we, like 50 pennies in the money on this trade? Here we just wet our beak at 33s. The next place I have is 48s. The stop is going to be the break of the low over here, but I probably have to flatten out the trade because I got to get up now, and I'm not going to leave it here. The spread is not to my liking at this level. That's it. I'm gonna have to cut it here. So we'll take 25 pennies on the other one. The last one here, I just want to mention this trade on Google. I could have executed this a little bit better. Rather than getting stopped out, I should have been adding to the position. And then we did take a nice 30 penny winner or whatever that was there. No, 25 penny winner on goggles. I could have held this one a little bit longer, obviously, but you know, you didn't execute the trades all the way that I wanted to. So done with those trades. I'm positive on the day. Thankfully, first day back from the sim in live, and I'm happy about that. It definitely was very refreshing to be able to get there, and I'm happy I canceled this Google all my trades now. Just make sure that there are no pending orders. But this meta short, by the way, this is a lesson to clean up your stops. Because that triggered me in because I was in a stop. It was a stop for my long, and I didn't clean it up, and I found myself in some trouble.
No, you definitely have to be aware of that. Residual orders in the market. Again, maybe you said you weren't in the position anymore, right?
No, I got out of that.
Stop still sitting there. Yeah, you definitely have to be aware of that. Apple pushing for some fresh highs.
I'll see you guys at the big desk
right now. Sharif has got to go to the big desk. But yeah, we only got about a minute left. But yeah, thanks for spending time with us at the midday on the midday show here, how to trade. And yeah, today we covered a bit of a liquidity trap there. At the beginning of the show, we show some examples, some potential examples, but GME obviously being the star of the show over the past couple of weeks, other than NVIDIA, of course. But with the whole meme craze going on, prime example of a potential
a little bit, yeah.
Of a liquidity trap coming into play over the past few days. But yeah, no, definitely it is something to watch out for. What's the first one, Brendo?
GameStop?
We're pulling back a little bit here on Waypoint. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
Confirm.
They will be covering your, the tickers that you sent in a little bit earlier with the big dogs just now, as I pass it over to to Sean and Neil. Sorry, I'm lost for words. But to Sean and Neil, to the big dogs, and Sharif with the market recap, and Brendo at the big desk. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you on Monday.
Welcome to the segment where you choose what we talk about every day, the afternoon rundown, the big